Let's do it.
Squad. I mean, it's been turning up with her. The girl around us and she loving her. If we don't know you, don't come close to her. If you with your gang, let me hear you say what?
Good afternoon, good evening, good night. This is season 2, episode 6 of the Read, Talk, and Listen podcast. I am your host, Nick Reed, with my brother and co-host, Trey Reed. How you doing tonight, man?
Not so good because my Cowboys lost last night.
Hey, man, pre-show, I tried to get this dude to take off this diabolical thing he has on his head. But as you guys see, it made it to the show, man. Also, we want to give a shout out to our guy Measley in the background, man, on the ones and twos tonight, all the way from Hot Springs. So he's off location tonight, but he's still working. Shout out to my guy.
No days off over here at the RTL.
Exactly, man, exactly. But it's Friday, man. Fill me in on how your week's been going.
Man, the week's been good. Just shooting every day and working, of course, and just, you know what I'm saying, trying to keep up with what's going on in the news cycle, you know?
Man, there's a lot in the news cycle right now. I mean, just so much things, me and you back and forth. Like, we've been on text crazy. I feel like this week, just so many things popping up on Facebook, so many articles coming out, so many events going on, man. And we just had to come out again on another Friday night and get all this on wax, man.
Oh, yeah. Like, the other night after the other show, man, I couldn't sleep. I was like, man, like, I didn't get enough, man. Like, I want to be doing this like every single day, man. If we had the opportunity or the time just to do shows every single day, I would. So I was like, man, what are we gonna talk about next week? I'm like, man, scratch that. We got to go Friday. I ain't got nothing going on. I'm sure Nick ain't got nothing going on. So let's go ahead and put something on whack for the folks.
Exactly, man. And one of the biggest things going on in sports right now, over in Tokyo, the Olympics are going on, and I just want to give everybody a little Olympic update. Because there's not very much, if you don't have TV, I guess, because, you know, right now we're in the age of not really having cable. And if you don't really have cable, it's kind of tough this year to keep up with everything going on over in Tokyo.
Yeah, because everybody's streaming now. And I mean, unless you got like Sling has, and you got to have that package. But on Sling, you can watch some of the Olympic Games. But if most people just watch Netflix or they got Hulu. And I don't even know if the Olympics is planned on Hulu. So if you don't have just, you know, the regular basic old cable, I don't think people are really watching the Olympics, like, you know, especially over here anyways. I'm sure in other countries it's, you know, alive and kicking, but here it's kind of like if you don't watch it on internet or catch a few highlights on YouTube, we're not really keeping up with it that much.
Exactly. I'm making myself, you know, daily. Let's see what's going on. Who won this? Who won that? And trying to keep it up. And then when I see a story or a headline, you know, I try to go find video footage or try to go find out what's going on with it in that regard. But I can say this is my most least paid attention to Olympics for me, I guess I could say. I haven't really paid attention like in depth like I normally do.
No, I'm in the same boat with you. I usually, well, I guess the reason why I haven't been keeping up with this is because, you know, the usual suspects aren't running, like for track. I'm used to watching, you know, Tyson Gay and you know, Usain Bolt. They're not running, so I don't know who even running for the U.S. in 100. I didn't know up until the 100 posted, and we didn't even win. We didn't bring home the gold.
Yeah, man, and that's been happening a lot for the U.S. right now. Like a lot of events that are expected or that the U.S. has done well in the past, at least in track and field, it's not really going our way this time around. And I guess I'll start by talking about the mixed 4x4, the relay.
You know, I didn't even know that was a thing until, you know, the whole debacle with the DQ that we got for the US. I was like, they got a mixed 400 relay.
Well, this is the first time in the Olympics.
Yeah, it's the first time. So I was like, okay, so I'm not that much out of the loop. But, you know, I tuned in. I watched the highlights of it or watched the actual race. And, man, we were rolling. You know what I'm saying? We were rolling. and just had that bad handoff and got DQ'd.
Exactly, man. And what was crazy about that the most to me is that as soon as it happens, the USA's DQ. They come over to the booth to do the celebration. You know, there's the talk to the reporter, and he pulls up to her face.
Hey, Greasy.
Footage. You know, man, right is it right there? Like she's like, oh, I don't know. You know, I'm so excited to be here running the Olympics, and he's like,
nah, you DQ'd.
You just DQ'd the U.S. team, and then she's trying to play it off. You know, great PR by the U.S. track team, by the way. She tries to play it off. She's like, oh, you know, we're gonna have to let the judges do this. And he's like, no, it's right here, baby girl.
And then zoomed in.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, no, I have it right here. We don't have to wait for anyone to say anything. We know exactly how it went down, and I was blown away.
Dude, I was laughing because even after he zoomed in and was like, yeah, you see that line right there? Like, you passed that line. She's like, yep, we gotta see what the judges say. And surprisingly, with all the backlash that they got, they actually reinstated them and allowed them to run Saturday.
And that's craziness. And I kind of wonder like how that went down. Is it because of the way? Because that's definitely out of protocol. I've never seen that done before in my life. You know what I mean? Like that was definitely outside the guidelines of any reporter or post-race interview that I've ever seen. Because I don't think that like Facebook and Twitter and things like that really have that big of an influence, or do they?
I think now they do, man. That wave, they're having that this social media wave and the way that news travel. And now, in the past you would hear news and you just heard it and you talked amongst your friends about it. Now when you hear news, you can get right online and get using them Twitter fingers, and everybody's putting out their opinion about it and everybody's saying it. And the last thing the Olympics want is to get any kind of backlash. So they was like, let's reinstate them.
Yeah, and I think that's so crazy because now no one else has a chance to win the gold, right? Like the U.S. mixed team is pretty clearly a lot faster than everybody else.
Yeah, but they gotta get them handoffs right, and that's been plaguing us the whole Olympics.
Even with the handoffs, they're still gonna win. I mean, in the semis and everything. I mean, they just you can just tell that they're faster. No matter how everybody else tries to switch up their lineup to compete, you just can't. I mean, you got multiple. Go ahead.
Look, I don't know his name, and I feel bad, but that brother on the last leg of that relay, he hawked down the girl from Nigeria?
Yeah. She
had about a 200-meter lead on him, and he hawked her down on the back curve, on top of the curve, hawked her down, and continued to pass her.
Exactly. Nigeria, they had a bad plan, and I went back after I saw the race. I went back and watched the 2019 World Championships where they actually ran the mixed relays for the first time, and a lot of countries use that method in the World Championships. A lot of countries use that method and failed miserably. They failed miserably. So I don't understand why Nigeria comes to the Olympic Games and tries to throw that lineup out there. I'm not bashing any women or anything like that. These women are obviously the fastest women in the world. They're at the Olympics. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But why would you put your female athlete against everyone else's male athlete? If you're trying to prove a point or something, maybe, okay, it makes sense. But come on now. They ended up in just for, it just shows you how much faster the men are than the women. They got last place. She was clearly way out in front of everyone, and the Nigeria ended up in last place.
Like, I think their theory behind it is if we put because what they had their two men first and the women second. I mean, third and fourth.
Yeah. Well, no, they had woman, man, or no, woman, man, woman, or something like that, or woman,
No,
man,
it had
woman,
to be
man, woman.
woman. It had to be woman, man, woman.
Yeah, woman, man, woman.
All right. So what
Something
they're
like
hoping,
that.
so they was hoping that their second and third leg would widen that gap so much that the lady at the end could go ahead and just bring it home, which would have been the case. But I think they had a handoff, a real bad handoff exchange as well. But still, no one has won with that with that strategy. And I mean, looking at it when I was watching the race, because I thought it was she had her hair cut short. So from the distance, they showed the race. I thought it was a man. I'm like, oh, he got this. He can go ahead. He can walk this in. And then I saw the cat from the US hit that first curve, and he came out smoking. And I'm like, wait, he covering some ground. And as soon as she hit the second curve, I mean, he was right there on her. And I'm like, goodness gracious! And then he passed, and I'm thinking, man, that dude is slow. I didn't know it was a lady.
Exactly, man. It's just not the same. These guys are running like 44, 45, 44 in the 400, and the women, they're coming in, 48, 47, and although that is blazing fast. I'm no discredit. There's just a difference there.
Oh, you definitely.
You know what I mean? And Nigeria, I hate that y'all did that on that stage, because, like I said, it's been shown that doesn't work. So I hate that y'all did that. But anyway,
how would you do it?
I would do it the way everyone else is doing it. Obviously, that's the way. Male, female, male. Obviously, that's obviously the way.
I think I'd mix it up. I'd go. I mean, I guess you got to do if everybody else is going.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. You have to.
Then you have to. But I mean, if everybody's mixing it up, I mean, then I don't know. I guess I'd go.
I would do what everyone else was doing, or with the majority.
Yeah,
because I want my fastest male out there with your fastest male, and I want my fastest female out there with your fastest female. So that's the way I would do it. For that, but the USA mixed team has been reinstated. Breaking news just in. They've been reinstated, so they will run tomorrow or today for them, I guess.
Yeah, it'll be today for them.
Yeah, so they will run, probably bring home the gold, which no one's mad about that. Besides all the other countries, I'm sure they're pissed. I would be.
Yeah, because they got DQ. Because if any other country got DQ, they wouldn't get reinstated.
Exactly, and I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know how Backlash gets you reinstated. I'm thinking that's wrong right now, and I may catch some heat for saying that because it's Team USA, but I'm kind of thinking that like Backlash getting you reinstated is
maybe from the angle that the Olympic team had, you couldn't really tell, so it was on the line. Now, whatever image or whatever angle that reporter had, he had the true image. She was over the line.
Exactly, but there was something saying like he was like, "Were you confused about where you were on the track?" And she was like, "No, sir. Like that's where I was. That's where I've been practicing. That's where I've been." So maybe it was they were lined up. They were set to line up differently than the track markings. Maybe something like that. I'm not sure.
What I read is that Olympic officials, they had told her that she was good there.
Exactly. So see, there you go. There you go. So yeah, she was confident in what happened. You know what I mean? But it was a horrible thing, but they're reinstated. Probably will bring home the gold, but who knows? There's been a lot of surprises on the track this year in Tokyo.
Man, hey, I watched the men's 4x100.
Exactly. I was just about to bring that up.
Let me tell you. So I'm watching and I'm looking, I'm thinking, man, like usually it's gonna be US and Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? That's who you're looking at right there. And I'm looking, I'm like, who's in? I see one team in maroon, one team looked maroon, but it was red. And I'm thinking, them dudes is rolling. Then that last leg came through, and that cat from China, the last leg, he was walking. He was walking. Now, the one that I watched was the semifinals. It wasn't. I didn't see the
exactly. Finals. I watched both. Both. It was crazy.
So the cat from China was walking. Then I see the cat from Canada. He walking, And then Italy, which I knew Italy, their what's his name? Lamont Marcel Jones or
Yeah,
Jacobs. He
Jacob.
won the 100. So I knew like they got wheels on their last leg, but I didn't know the other, or not last leg, he's the second leg. So I mean not second, but he was the third leg. I didn't know the other three cats on the relay. But man, they was all rolling. And then when they gave the baton to Felipe Turto, he gonna, if he hear this, he gonna be bad at me. Tortu, when they gave it to him, the last leg, bro, that brother was hit them ghost on him, man. Hit them ghost on him, and then crossed the finish line, and he was like shocked.
Exactly.
Like he didn't know he could run that fast.
Most definitely. And Troy, you're the track guy here. You know me. Unless it was like the honey bun relay, it wasn't me. But Fossey has a comment for you down here. And it goes away, but it says, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've always understood on a relay you put your second fastest first and your fastest as the anchor. So in a mixed relay, typically the two men will be the two fastest.
That's true. You can do it a whole lot of different ways. Cause see, I didn't run track past high school. So, you know, Coach Smith and Coach Busby, we never had the same setup or the same people running the same leg. Well, Galen Toby always ran last leg, but we would switch it. So I might run after the first leg, one meet. Then you might switch it up with Tim Phelps. Kennard might run. We had CJ Broaders. We had Eric Bragg. We had like 6 people that could run the relay. So we always was moving around to see what worked. But yeah, typically you're right. You put your fastest guy second, and then your second fastest guy second, and then your fastest guy on the last leg to bring it home. But I guess you can do it either way. It's what works for your team or that particular meet.
Yeah, I think that just makes sense right there because you got your first leg guy. And this is from what I've heard. Like I said, I'm not a track guy, but your first leg guy is going to be your quickest guy, not necessarily your fastest. He's a guy that can jump out of the blocks and get out there, and he's not going to necessarily gain ground on the guys. He's not going to necessarily eat up the stagger, but he's not going to lose. He's not going to lose his place in the stagger either.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then your second guy, he's the guy that's going to eat up the stagger. You know what I mean? He's coming downhill, getting you where you need to be. A third leg guy, you don't lose your position, and then your anchor guy, you bring it home. And that
now the thing is, you might be fast, but you got to know how to run that curve. Everybody can't run the curve, so you might have somebody who's super super fast, but they just don't run the curve well.
Yeah.
So you got to find out who can run that curve.
Exactly. There's a lot of ins and outs to it, but the men's USA team does not make the final for a first time in a long time. Very, very, very disappointing for the USA relay team. And yes, there was one bad pass of the baton in this relay. But I still want to say this right here because I'm not the type of guy that's like, there's a lot of things that happen in this race or there's a lot of things that happen in this game. There's a reason why we lost. Yeah, that may be the case in some instances. But, hey, no matter what happened after that bad pass on the second pass was bad, the anchor leg got the baton in third place. You know what I mean? And he just didn't have it that day.
He didn't have the juice.
Exactly. So, no disrespect to this guy, but he just didn't have it at that moment.
Yeah, because when they were coming down that back 100, it seemed like when they got to about the 50-meter mark, he was at his top speed, but them other guys were still accelerating.
Exactly.
And he just kind of just gave up the ghost.
Exactly. He didn't have it, and I think they ended up finishing 6th.
Yep.
And they were just 2/10, and even there, and that just goes to show how close all these teams are. Even with them finishing 6th in that heat, they were only 2/10 out of, or less than 2/10 of a second out of the final still, based on the times. So those guys were moving. So China, they were freaking moving in that thing.
Yep.
Italy was freaking moving in that thing. Canada, and I want to talk about the guy from Canada. I'm so upset I don't have his name right here. DeGrasse. I want to say I don't want to mess his name up. I probably just did. But dude is having the time of his life on the track in Tokyo right now. He wins the 200-meter gold in crazy fashion. Everybody thought the Kyle kid from the USA was going to win gold.
Yeah,
he was chasing gold. This guy comes out and blazes the track in the 200.
And dude, and I love it. As soon as he crossed the finish line, most guys they cross to that confidence where they're like, boom. You know what I'm saying? Or this dude crossed like I ain't nobody next to me. I won this thing. Like he had no clue. He was so shocked. And then once he realized I won this thing, I mean, you just see him just it just come out of him like I'm the fastest 200-meter runner in the world. Like
Exactly.
and that's what the Olympics is about, man. It's about that greatness, and I like seeing races like that because it gives kids who think that oh, I'm not that good. I'm not as fast. You can get there, man. Because I promise you, he didn't think he was going to win gold. Because no one talked about him.
Exactly. He didn't think he was gonna win gold. He definitely knew he was fast though. Like I said, I went back and watched the World Championships. I think this is the first time I've ever done that. The Olympics has made me actually go back because there's a lot of guys, like you said, those headline names that we grew up watching and knowing. They're not there this year. They're not there this time around. You know what I mean? So when I'm seeing all these guys run, I'm having to go back and watch their college tape. I'm having to go back and watch them in the World Championships, even to really see who they are. Why did we think this guy was going to win? Why didn't we think this guy was going to win?
Right.
And this DeGrasse guy, he's been blazing the track. He's been blazing the track for a while now, so he definitely knew he was going to be up on the podium. I don't know if he knew he would have gold, and I definitely don't think he thought he was going to run as well as he did in the 100 or in the relay. Because I mean, you're a 200 runner. Most 200 runners, it doesn't really transfer down to the 100.
Yeah, 200. The 200 is a gut race.
Exactly, but we saw a 400 in the 100 meter. We saw a 400 meter USA runner get bronze or silver. He gets the silver.
I think. Silver.
Yeah, he gets the silver in the 100 meter. So I think these new age athletes, these new track guys are breaking all the molds of, hey, these distance runners are distance runners and these sprinters are sprinters, man. I mean, these guys came down to the 100. We had a guy from the 200, which is still a sprint, but not the same. And then a guy come down from the 400, and they both take home medals in the 100 meter.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just like football. You know what I'm saying? We're seeing a new breed of athletes. Back in the day, you see a defensive end. I'll say back in the 90s. Your defensive end was 6'5" and maybe 300 pounds, 315, but a sloppy 315. Now you got defensive ends at 6'6", 250, and just built like a brick house. And they running a 4.3, 4.4 40. So football's broke the mold, and it's only natural that we're going to see it across all sports, and we're seeing it in track. We're seeing these guys come out putting up crazy numbers and across all events when normally you be a one event guy.
Exactly. We also had U.S. take home the silver in the pole vaulting. That was a crazy matchup. I don't know if you got to see that.
Hey, from South Dakota, baby, right down the street. He's from right down the street.
There you go. He takes home silver and it was a duel. It was a duel to the end, and he actually, if he wanted to even attempt to get gold, he would have had to break his own personal best, which he almost did. He almost had it. He barely hit it. And then the guy who wins it from Sweden, he's at LSU. He was born in Louisiana. His parents obviously are immigrants. So he was born in Louisiana. He goes to LSU or went to LSU, played his collegiate career at LSU. And I mean, he just freaking dogged the field.
Or is he a military brat?
I don't know. I didn't look into it. I didn't look into it all the way. I just know that's what they said on when he was pole vaulting.
Yeah.
All the things they were saying. So when I tell you this kid was clearing the bar, he's already broken the world record. He was trying to break it again at the Olympics, and he hit it with his chin going over. So he's over the bar like this, and he hit the bar with his chin to knock it off. So in my eyes, you broke it.
You got it.
Yeah, you can. But it was just a duel, bro. It was great. It was sportsmanship. It was what I think the reason I'm bringing it up, because I think it's like what true Olympics should be about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sportsmanship. Two guys saying, you know what? man, we did this thing. We the best in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know, you might have beat me, but guess what? We put on a show for the world.
Exactly, and that's exactly what they were doing. They were putting on a show. They were getting the crowd involved, and it's pole vaulting. You know, this is not even something that I, have any interest in. To be honest,
My whole track career, I think I probably sat and watched the pole vault maybe twice. Actually stood over there and watched it, and that's because my friend Mick was jumping. Other than that, I wouldn't have been over there.
exactly. I mean, I'm not saying no one cares about it because it's obviously a big thing. I've seen at the Pleasant Grove track for years. I can't remember the guy's name, but he comes the days, exactly. He
All
comes
of
there,
them.
and a lot of kids come there and they're working on it. So pole vaulting is obviously a thing, but it's just not something I have interest in. But I found myself super, super, super engaged in this competition because they were going back and forth, and you see, and obviously there's an entire field, but you could tell from the very first round that these two guys were the guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so they just battling back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Finally, the U.S. guy hits the bar. He's out. He doesn't walk off or do anything like that. He stands right there. He's cheering the guy on. I think they know each other from college.
Yeah.
That's what they were saying. Guy goes. He wins gold. Goes again, tries to beat the record. He misses it. They hug. They get the crowd all into it. And it was just true Olympic meaning to me right there. You know what I mean? Like in true fashion. I saw it a lot. I saw a lot of this on the track. I saw a lot of this in the soccer. I saw a lot of it in the basketball. I think this year, post the first wave of COVID and everything like that. Now I think countries are showing like, hey, let's show the world how together we can be.
Exactly. And I saw his article in passing, and I wish I would have read it. But there was two guys, and I don't know which event. I can't remember what event it was, but they're childhood friends, and they tied, and they decided to share the gold medals together. And I thought that was pretty cool too.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's plenty of togetherness coming out of these Olympics after it started off terribly. We're hearing a lot of bad things coming out of Tokyo, but I think this is coming together, and I think it's going to end up being one of the best Olympics. Maybe not as far as like when Usain Bolt was running, like all eyes were just like on the track,
right?
What I mean? So I don't think like it's going to be that big, and the Olympics as big as that in that regard. But as far as like what it should be about, I think we're seeing that this year, and it's like the biggest year for that.
Oh, definitely, man. And it's, I don't know. I wish I would just like watched it more. And I think tomorrow I'm going to watch some of the finals and just and really soak it in, because we won't get it again for 4 years. So
exactly, and I want to ask about that too before we finish off on this track thing, because it's supposed to be 2020 Olympics,
right?
So are we going to have the Olympics in 3 years, or are they going to keep the 4 thing and just bump it back to 2025?
Man, if I was on the committee, I'm running it back.
Exactly.
Let's run it back and get back on track.
Exactly.
Get it back.
It's not like they're going to stop running anyway, or they're going to stop lifting anyway. These athletes compete all year round, regardless. They don't just compete at the Olympics. They're still doing, their championships. They're still running for Team USA. They're still running for themselves all year long. So why not just freaking run it back in 2024?
Yeah, I definitely would. I'd run it back. I mean, get the Olympics back on track and put on another show for the world. Where would it be at? Where's the next stop?
I haven't looked at that. I haven't looked at where the next stop is. But it's already, it's planned so far in advance.
They got it planned out for
it's
5 or 6
so far exactly. So I don't think it'll be a problem to bump it down to that next, because the next place is already planning on having it there in 2024 before all the craziness.
Now do the Olympics do what like the World Cup does? Because the World Cup, when they pick a city to have a country to have the World Cup in, they actually build a stadium right then and there. So do the Olympics, when they pick a spot, do they build the stadium, build the arenas there?
I'm not even gonna lie, Measley fact check that for us and let us know how that goes down. But I know they used to, and I think that was a thing because I saw like a lot of these with along with the World Cup stadiums, I saw a couple Olympic stadiums that were built that were never used for anything else that were all grass grown through and corroded and stuff
And
like that.
that is wild because they spend billions of dollars to build these stadiums, and then once it's over, it's like, like let it go. Like this,
Exactly.
we got no use for it no more.
Exactly. But before we get off of the track situation, I want to give a shout out, even though it's the Jamaican team, in the women's 100 meter, they take first, second, and third. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because of the track debacle we had here. And I don't want to get too far into it because I was one of the ones saying we need to shut up and let it rest. But we did have the track debacle here with a certain female track athlete who would have been maybe in that race. You know what I'm saying? And they all, I'm gonna get her name correct. I'll make sure I get her name correct here. Elaine Thompson-Herah breaks the world record in her time, and she wins first place. And then we have her two teammates right behind her. So it would have been. I'm just bringing up the question: would she have medaled? We made this humongous deal of her coming to the Olympics or being held away from the Olympics or something, all of this stuff. Was this all just a cry for no reason? Like we made this cry and then they let her run and then she placed fourth?
Man, see, they made the cry as if, oh, y'all taking the gold medal out of her hand, as if she had already won it. Like all she had to do was go and show up and she was gonna win the gold medal. That's what they made it sound like. Like, oh, y'all not giving her a chance to be great. Nah, I don't like. I think this played out better for her because they would have let her run. If people would have made this big old fuss and then they go let her run and then she get walked on the track, I think it would have made her look real bad.
Oh yeah, it would have definitely looked bad after the humongous deal that was made. I think it would have looked horrible. But then again, this is another thing because I've seen it a lot. Like, oh, she wouldn't have made it. I just want to put this out there, just for whoever wants it. When it comes down to this track stuff, times are hella important, right? Times are hella important. But some people are just gamers. Some people are just, when that gun goes off, you're not beating me. Well, you make me faster. Being beside you is going to make me run. You know what I mean? Being beside you is going to make me run a lot faster. So I'm not saying that she wouldn't have medaled. I just thought it was, good for conversation to bring it up. I think that she's the type, the gritty, grimy runner that with those Jamaican girls out there on the track, she would maybe have set the world record.
No, she got fourth.
You think so?
Yep. Because just how one that'd have been her first Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you have the what's the girl from Jamaica who got first place?
Elaine Thompson-Herah.
Right, so that was her first Olympics. And then the lady in second place,
that was her like
that's her
Olympics.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's her like fifth or sixth Olympics, and every time she's been to Olympics, she's placed either first or second.
Yeah.
So now you got that veteran in there, and then the lady in third place. I don't know much about her, but I think that's her second Olympics. So you got two veterans that know that they've been on this stage before. Sha'Carri would have been a first-time runner, and then the young lady that won first place was her first year. Yeah. But the lady from Jamaica, she been running with them other two girls all season, so she been pushing herself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think them three would have lined up on the line, saw Sha'Carri over there, and was like, "Hey, we got to do."
And I hear you now. Hey, if anybody wants to chime in on that right there, man, let me know what y'all think. Would Sha'Carri have placed on the podium, which she's gotten a medal in Tokyo in the 100 meter? She for sure would be helping out the mixed team, and she for sure would help out the 4x1 team for the women. That's no doubt. But I want to know, would she have gotten a medal? Do you guys think she would have gotten a medal in Tokyo this year with the Jamaican team coming out and running the way they did? Let me know and down in the comment section for that. But just in sports right now. Since we're on the sports conversation, Trey saying no, guys. I'm saying yes. I think she would have medaled. She's a dog. She's from Oak Cliff, bro. She would have medaled for
Yeah,
sure.
but them Jamaicans is dogs too.
I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying they're not, bro. I'm just saying she would have, especially
Bro,
with the hype too. Hype has a big deal. with it, too.
Steel, sharpen steel. But guess what? Them other girls from Jamaica, they still just a little bit sharper already.
I hear you, man. I hear you, and I'm not disagreeing.
Change
Well, actually,
my
I am
mind.
disagreeing. I am disagreeing.
Change my mind.
I'm taking. Come on, man. I can't really. You come on, man.
Change my mind.
I'm just gonna let it. I'm gonna let that sleeping dog lie.
You see what hat I got on? I'm ready tonight.
Exactly. So that's why I used to be riding with her. You got on that cowboy hat. Hey, you can believe anything up to chance. Exactly. But man, the sports world is going crazy right now. Before we even move on for that, shout out to the USA Olympic team. Shout out to everybody out in the Olympics right now grinding. I know it's crazy with the time change and all that. Oh, we got some answers from Measley in the background right here. Some countries build venues that often become abandoned because they were built to show off. Other countries have the amenities. So they want to show off to other countries. They have these amenities in their country. Once the Olympics is over or once the World Cup is over, this stadium is abandoned and it's never to be used again. Like you can go on Google right now and type in abandoned Olympic stadiums or abandoned World Cup stadiums and look at the beautiful arenas that we've let go to waste. Just another way the human species is wasteful, man.
Olympic Committee. If y'all ever want to build a stadium in Texarkana and do an Olympics there and not use the stadium, you can go ahead and donate that bad boy to Map Inc. Because we will sure put that bad boy to use.
Factual, regardless of what state. But if you want to make it in Texas, that'd be great.
Shoot, we live in that joke like Kanye.
Oh man, that is so wild. And we're gonna get down to that too because we're going into the NFL talk tonight, guys. No doubt. We've not been able to talk about football for a while. Football's been gone, but it is here. But before we get into that, before we get into football, we gotta get into a little basketball. Just because it just ended, and I don't want to stay on it long because I want to talk about football for a long time.
I got you.
But free agency has been going nuts in the NBA. And before we even get all the way into this NBA talk, I want everybody to understand this. Everyone's building their team to beat Brooklyn. No one's building a team to beat Milwaukee. So can we please stop saying that? No one's building a team to beat Milwaukee. Milwaukee will not be in the finals next year.
Nope.
Okay? Let's get that under control. Let's pipe down just a tad on the Milwaukee talk.
This is the one thing that I cannot stand about Texarkana because Texarkana because that's where I know. I don't ever remember in my 31 years of living seeing a Milwaukee Bucks fan in Texarkana. Now all of a sudden everybody's a Milwaukee Bucks fan. We always knew Giannis could do it. We always knew where y'all been at. And it was the same thing back when the Warriors were on a spree. All of a sudden all these Warrior fans popped up in Texarkana. Texarkana is a bandwagon city. They go with whoever winning, but for some odd reason, they never support Braun. They never support any.
I think the Braun thing is countrywide, but go ahead.
But I just don't understand it. Like, why do people go? Like, why do people go with what's hot now? Like in the but when it comes to sports teams,
because why would you want to go with who's winning? Who wants to say, "Oh, I'm a Cowboy fan"? You know what I'm saying? Like in mid season. Who we get around November, December? Who is really trying to say I'm a Cowboy fan? Unless you've been a diehard, your entire family is a Cowboy fan and everything like that. Like, who wants to do that? Why won't I just go with who's winning right now?
But then you look at clown, because then it's like you go out and you get the jersey and the hat and all that stuff. You put it on your Facebook, and then the next season they lose or they not even in it, and now you're looking for another team to rep.
Everybody, but that's what I'm saying. But when everybody's doing it, it doesn't look funny. If everybody's bandwagon, because you're not going to be the only bandwagon in your town. You're not going to be the only bandwagon in your city. You're not going to be the only bandwagon in your friend group.
No, but it's like this. So you got, like, I remember when KD left OKC and went to Golden State. Everybody was, oh yeah, KD. Well, first they talked crap about him. Then when he won the championship, then it was, oh yeah, KD, he better than LeBron. He the best shooter in the league. He this, he that, he this. And then I saw this morning, somebody goes, they had a picture of LeBron and a picture of KD and said these two had to chase the ring. Giannis showed loyalty and won a ring and where he got drafted. Like, you were just praising KD a couple years ago.
Exactly. That is a good statement, right?
You were just praising KD for leaving. Man, sometimes you got to take the championship. And then it's about loyalty, and we had to talk about the whole should athletes be loyal to teams? And no, it's a business. I'll never say you should stay somewhere because they drafted you. That's stupid. It's all about
being loyal to your team
as they loyal to you.
Exactly. You should be just as loyal to your team as the management of that team and ownership of that team is loyal to you. Giannis stayed in Milwaukee because they were willing to bring in pieces to make Milwaukee able to win a championship. So it makes sense to stay there. And then not to mention he had a couple of things go right in his direction. First of all, LeBron's out of the East. So now Giannis, you got a little bit of a chance. But hold up a second. KD comes back.
But Kawhi lead the East too.
Yeah, Kawhi was out. He was already in. Oh yeah, because he comes in. He was at Toronto.
So he was in Toronto, so he left the East too.
Okay, so but now KD comes to the East, and he also brings James Harden, and he also brings Blake Griffin. He also brings freaking DeAndre Jordan and freaking everybody. He brings everybody, Kyrie, everybody. They all come and meet up in Brooklyn.
Then DeMarcus Aldridge too.
Luckily, yeah, DeMarcus Aldridge. Luckily for Giannis, they come into the playoffs beat up, and they end the playoffs beat up. I was happy that they lost because I don't like KD, so that's cool. They lost, but let's be real about the situation. A fully healthy Brooklyn probably beats Milwaukee out
in 5.
Probably beat Milwaukee out of the Eastern Conference Finals, and then let's be totally honest, 100% healthy Phoenix team probably wins the ship.
Yep. I mean, Giannis is one injury away from not even playing. Because didn't he almost get hurt?
Yeah, Giannis was hurt at first in the
finals. So you know what I'm saying? Like things just like, yes, you gotta be good to get to a championship, but also a lot of stuff got to go your way.
Exactly. A lot of things went Giannis's way, and it helped the Bucks. And I'm not mad because, like I said before, I'm extremely happy for Giannis. I'm just saying we are making a narrative right now in the basketball world that is totally not true. The team that people are building their teams right now to beat is Brooklyn. Because everybody knows what a fully healthy Brooklyn can do. If James Harden's out there going for 35, 40 a night, KD's out there going for 35, 40 a night, Kyrie's going for 25 and 10. You know what I mean? Those are scary numbers for defenses in the NBA. That's all there is to it. So why you have to put your team together to beat that. Now, on to other stuff. The Lakers team that's being built right now. Everybody talking a lot of noise. Everybody's talking a lot of noise. And Measy, I want you to bring up the direct quote from LeBron if you can. He just made it. I'll give a paraphrase here. He's basically saying, say what you want about the team that we're putting together in LA. Just make sure you keep that same energy when all this shit starts.
Well, you know me, I'm a former theater major. So let me tell you what he said. He said, keep talking about my squad, our personal ages. The way he plays, he stays injured. We're past our time in this league, etc., etc. Do us one favor, please. I mean, please keep that same narrative energy when it begins. That's all I ask. Thank you. King crown emoji.
and that's real right there from LeBron. Because we've seen this a bunch of times, and you just said it like with the KD thing. The NBA fans or sports fans in general love to say one thing, and then when the ball gets to rolling, they switch it up, and everybody jumps on this side, and everybody forgets what was said previously.
Yep.
It was said when LeBron first came to the West, he wouldn't make it in the West. He gets hurt that first year, doesn't make the playoffs. What did everybody say? I told y'all he couldn't make it in the West. He washed up, blase, blase, blase. Then all of a sudden, the next season, he comes back and the Lakers are balling with AD. Balling. They stop pushing that narrative, right? Now it's look what he's doing in year 18 or 17 at the time. Look what he's doing in year 17. Look what he's doing in year 17. Oh, I can't believe he's playing like this in year 17. Well, hey, just a few months ago, he was washed. So which one is it? So now LeBron's just saying, hey, you're talking about our age. You're talking about who gets injured a lot. You're talking about the way this guy plays. When we get to the season and we get on y'all neck, keep that same energy. Don't switch it up to say, oh, look how good these guys are playing in their post-prime. Don't change it. Keep talking the way you're talking now. Because I'm telling you right now, yes, this team is old that LeBron's putting together. But this one thing right here, LeBron makes no crazy moves. He doesn't make it's been said for years. They wouldn't give him any other props, but at least they have given him this prop over the years. He's the smartest basketball mind out there.
Yep.
They have given that prop. So with that being said, he's not bringing Melo in because it's his homie. He's not bringing Russ in because it's his homie. He's bringing these guys in because these are the pieces that he feels
he needs.
He needs to win a championship. I think he can win a championship with an older Melo. Melo's not jacking the ball like he used to. I think he can win one with a Russell Westbrook who's still in his prime. Russ is still in his prime, guys.
And people forget that Kobe Bryant did give him the mama stamp. He said, hey, if there's anybody out there that played like me, it's Russell Westbrook.
Exactly. And on top of that, LeBron knows how to defer. LeBron knows how to get off the ball. LeBron knows how to orchestrate a team in a way where this lineup and this lineup, when I'm off the court, we still gonna survive.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So with these guys that he's putting on the team, and then he's got some young bucks. I wish they would have got that Buddy Hield deal done though.
I was hoping that was gonna go through.
Exactly. If they would have got that Buddy Hield deal, which I'm still cool with. Oh my goodness, his name just left my daggum brain. Measley, man, bring up that Lakers, that new Lakers roster for your boy one time, man, because I just lost my guy's name, and I don't want to disrespect him like that. But they got some great pieces outside of the older guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna be a great year for the Lakers. I think they're gonna make at worst they'll be in the Western Conference Finals. I'm saying that right now. At worst.
I mean, I think they go to the finals. That's the worst they're gonna do. They're gonna get to the finals. They might lose in that final, but they're gonna get there. And this is, mark my word, this is gonna be the narrative right here. If they get to the finals and win it, oh, Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony have sealed their place in the Hall of Fame. That's gonna be the narrative right there. If they win it.
Exactly. I want them to get the ring with Bron. I want because KD had it, because Russ had a chance to get one with KD, and KD walked off and did what he did. And that's the reason I don't like KD. Melo just hadn't had the chance, really, man. Melo just hadn't had the shot to get it. I guess his closest shot was Portland, man. I mean, goodness. So I think on this team right here, if he can come out and give a couple of playoff games like he did in Portland, that'll get him over the hump.
So we talking about Trevor Ariza?
Trevor Ariza's old. He's an older guy as well. They just signed two younger guys as well.
Oh, they signed Kendrick Nunn and Malik Monk.
Malik Monk. That's he out of Arkansas, baby. You know what I'm saying? He right down the road, the Little Rock, somewhere around that area, man. He right down the street. Malik Monk, man, he gonna be a good he gonna be a good uh role player on the team because he's a guy who when he first came into the league, had a really high upside. Um, I think under LeBron's wing, we're gonna see what you got. What we originally thought we were gonna get from Malik Monk out of his career. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a nice season. I'm telling you. And then there'll be a couple more pieces added. They'll get that bench figured out, and it's gonna be an interesting season in LA. But I promise you, the worst they're gonna do is the Western Conference Finals. And I want to hear from some Laker fans. How do you guys feel about this? Because you guys have seen this squad kind of put together before, or an older squad, be put together, and you guys go and win a championship with them.
Wasn't Kobe's last team considered old?
Yeah, that's or his last championship team.
Yeah, last championship team. Yeah.
Yeah. So those guys were considered old. Steve Nash, Pau Gasol. Those guys were on the tail end.
Kwame Brown.
Was Kwame on that team?
No, I don't think Kwame was on that team. I think he was at Golden State. That was his last year.
When those guys, they found a way to get it done. And not
look at the Spurs. The Spurs, their team was old. And they was
exactly that's a different style of basketball as well, too, though. That's a different style of basketball. I saw somebody else bring up the Spurs earlier in this conversation, and I agree with it, and I get it, and I see why you would say that because those teams were getting old, but they also played a style of basketball that fit old men. Like you go to the park right now and play a group of old men, they're gonna play Spurs basketball.
That big fundamental, baby.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So that's how that goes down. But that's the NBA. Oh no, I can't leave the NBA without talking about these contracts.
Oh my goodness, man. They getting that
guys,
money.
Hey. NFL Players Association, NFLPA. I don't know what you got to do, baby, but hey, take a page out of their book, please.
Hey, I called you. I said, man, I didn't know Julius Randle was balling. You said, what you talking about? I said, Julius Randle just got a 5-year, $114 million on him.
a lot of people. I mean, hey, like Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis. They say, hey, man, you want to come back and play? Here go $9 million. I mean, like this, like you. That's like the play money. You know what I'm saying? Like 100 mil, 74 mil, 200 mil. Steph Curry just signed for 212. Yep. I mean, goodness gracious, the NBA. I love how much of the piece, how big of a piece of the pie you guys are getting out of this. I mean, sports,
but they also got less people they gotta pay. You know what I'm saying?
I don't care. I don't care about that. I don't care if they had 2 people to pay. I don't care if they had 200 people to pay.
No, it makes sense. You can't give because if you put the amount of players on a team that are key contributors to that team that would deserve that big contract, an NFL team couldn't afford to pay, 8 people over $100 million. They couldn't afford it.
I hear what you're saying on that. And I'm not saying it has to be $100 million, but it had, bro, the weak guys. I mean, I'm not saying they're weak, they're NBA players, but you know what I'm saying.
The support guys
are getting the bread too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's not a figure amount that I'm saying you got to get for your guys. It's a percentage amount I'm saying you got to get for your guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Look, I know they can't pay like let's just take Buccaneers for instance. I know they can't pay Tom Brady $212 and then turn around and pay AB another $100. Then they can't turn around and pay he gonna turn to hats. They can't turn around and pay Mike Evans. They can't turn around and pay him another $100, $200. I know it can't go down like that. But what I'm saying is you gotta somehow try to set it up where everybody's eating.
Man, everybody is eating in the league. Like
not the way they should.
Listen to what I'm saying, telling you. So league minimum, if I'm not mistaken, is about $450,000. That's what doctors make. If not, I think doctors make a little more, or just around the salary a doctor make.
Okay, but
I ain't seen no doctors not eating good.
I hear you on that too, but there's also a lot more variables that go into that 450. There's a lot more variables that go into that 450 than when that doctor makes his 450. There's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot different. There's a lot more coming out of that 450 from the NFL guy than that's coming out of that 450 from the doctor. I mean, unless he got like hella student loans, which I'm sure a lot of them do. So nobody get on my top.
No, I don't know nothing about no student loan. I ain't, but not about no doctor anyway. What they make or what they,
But I'm saying
kind of
like
debt they get in. But
yeah, you know what I mean. So I don't know what the numbers are there, but I'm saying I'm sure there's a lot more coming out of that 450 from that NFL guy than there is from that doctor. And also next year, that next graduating class, they're gonna be about 100,000 more doctors come up out of there. In that next graduating class, you know how many Tom Brady's coming out? None. All right. You know how many you know how many Michael Jordan's coming out?
All them doctors that come out there ain't good.
But they gonna get a job. All them quarterbacks that ain't good, they doing what we doing. You know what I'm saying? They
9 to 5.
Exactly, man. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's been brought up over years. Like, oh my goodness, doctors don't make what these guys make, or whatever. The doctor that can do it, the doctor in this world right now that can do what all these other doctors can't, he making just as much as Tom or just as much as Braun. I promise.
Bro, I'm telling you, dude. I wish I would went to school to be a plastic surgeon. If I would have known plastic surgery was going to be as big as it is now, I'd have went to medical school.
Man,
I'm telling you,
plastic surgery is huge right now.
Man, what?
Exactly, but yeah, I always say that too. I always say that about the doctor to pro athlete ratio. Like, let's be real. I understand doctors are saving lives. I understand that nurses are helping people out. Hell, our mother's a nurse. You know what I mean? Like, I understand it. I understand what military guys go through. You know what I mean? We have an entire military family. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that. I understand what police go through. We have police in our family as well. But at the end of the day, that academy is shitting police out. At the end of the day, schools are shitting doctors out. You know what I mean? You're not shitting out a Tom Brady or a Patty Mahomes or Zeke Elliott or AP. That's just not happening.
Yeah.
So they're making money. They're making their money that they're they're making what they're worth.
Well, yeah, they're making what they bring in. Yeah, I agree with that. They're getting a percentage of what they bring in, but I don't think the NFL get a big enough piece of the pie. I do believe that.
The NFL players are not getting a big enough piece of the pie. They're just not.
I think it's that salary cap.
You think the cap is the reason why they're not getting enough of the pie?
Yeah, salary cap. Because you don't really hear about in the NBA. We're talking about they don't got the cap space like they do in the NFL.
Yeah, that's true.
Because see, like in the NFL, you can have one guy get a big contract, and that's gonna mess the team up. In the NBA, you can have your starting five could be all be making over $100 million. You know what I'm saying? And your team is good. But NFL, like when I saw Patty Mahomes sign that $500 million deal, I'm like, we are not. He probably gonna win another Super Bowl. And the reason for that is because once Tyreek Hill, if they want to keep him, he's gonna take a pay cut. Travis Kelce, if they want to keep him, he's gonna take a pay cut. All these big pieces of their team that make them who they are. When their contracts come up, you got all your money tied in Mahomes. It's gonna be hard to keep them guys.
Exactly, but it's a 10-year deal too, though. You got to think about that. It's a 10-year deal.
Yeah, it's a 10-year deal. But still,
exactly. Because I remember this when it first came out. I remember when his deal was first came out. They've structured his deal. Where other guys can get paid. Other guys will still get paid throughout. They'll still get paid throughout it. Do I think they'll stay in Kansas City? No, because they'll have a chance to go make more money somewhere else.
Yeah.
Than what they've cut out for them already in Kansas City. I do believe in that. But then you got to think about it like this too. This doesn't go for Travis Kelce though, because I think he can go in anywhere. He can go anywhere and play tight end.
Yeah,
he's that kind of guy. Tyreek Hill doesn't fit into every offensive scheme.
Yeah, but if you can get a Tyreek Hill, you're going to change your scheme to fit that. I'm
not going to pay you to change my scheme because you're not that guy for me. You're not. I can't throw you to 9 every time. All that. You're sub 6 foot. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna pay you a ton of money to change my entire scheme.
I
I
mean,
cannot go get a guy as fast as Tyreek Hill, but I can go get somebody as close with the same good as hands
and maybe a little taller.
Exactly.
Uh,
And I'm not taking anything away from Tyreek Hill because I think he's an amazing talent, but I do think he is a little bit hyped. And I think his situation that he's in Kansas City saves you a lot. Just like whenever like Patty Mahomes is a guy that he can run around and make things happen. Tyreek Hill is a guy who's small and quick, who whenever the play breaks down, I can get away from you.
yep, you gonna lose him real quick.
Exactly. If we need anything quick, I can get him the ball. You know what I mean? Like anything quick like that, I can get him the ball and he can make something happen with it. But he's not necessarily my guy.
Here you go, right here. Big Monty come through. Said the NFL is a 52-48% split. NBA is 50-50. And it says and let's throw a share. WNBA it's 75-20. Ooh.
75-25. And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying right there. Appreciate that too, Money. And that's what I'm saying right there. Like, let's just try to get that 50-50 in the NFL. Let's just try to get it to that 50-50 mark. Why can't we?
He said, throw shade at WNBA.
Exactly. In WNBA, shame on you. You already ain't bringing in nothing. You going to try to get a girl 25? Come on, man.
Yeah, they don't turn a profit. We already talked about that. They don't turn a profit, and they get 25% of what the NBA make.
Come on, man. That's crazy. Let's get that up. But while we're still on the sports conversation, the U.S. team, Stephanie Dolson, Alicia Gray, Kelsey Plum, and Jackie Young won the first women's gold medal in the new Olympic sport, 3-on-3 basketball. So there we go. Hand claps to them right there. Congrats to them right there. USA bringing home another gold. I'm anxious to see how many medals we bring home this year because, like I said, track got so bumbled up, man.
Yeah,
we still got the 800-meter women's gold. We won that and bronze, I think, with the Rogers and Moo. I want to say, was her last name?
I think you said it right.
I want to say that right. Moo was the first place winner. She won gold.
Got gold in wrestling.
We got gold in the wrestling and men's and women got gold, brought a gold home. I think multiple golds in different weight classes for that. I know 2 for sure for the men and 1 for the women for sure that we brought home gold there. And then like I said, we got brought home the gold and the bronze in the women's 800. I think in the women's 400, we brought home the 400-meter hurdles. We brought home the gold and silver there as well. And that was with our defending champ winning silver, and then our new fastest 400-meter hurdle girl coming and winning the gold right there. And Misa, if you can get those names of those women on the 800-meter and on the 400-meter hurdle, pop that up for the people right there too. Because like I said, I don't want to disrespect anybody's name on here.
No, that's the sweetest sound in the world. Your own name.
Exactly. And we're on a little NFL football talk right there. But I gotta hit on this real quick since we're on the football topic, and I want to get your opinion on it. And then I also want to think, will we start seeing a lot more of this? All right. So Quinn Ewers is leaving South Lake Carroll. Me and you actually got the opportunity to go down to Dallas and watch this kid play.
Thanos.
Exactly, against Thanos and the Duncanville high school football team, and they were playing against South Lake Carroll, and we got a chance to watch this kid play. Hell of a game, by the way. Hats off to both of those teams, both those programs. Great game, offensively and defensively. South Lake Carroll had a running back that was going nuts. So
eating.
Oh my goodness. Then we had Duncanville's quarterback was going nuts. So this kid, Ewers, he was going nuts. So I mean, the number 4, the receiver, whoever you are from South Lake Carroll, boy, keep grinding.
Because he wasn't even a starter.
Exactly.
And eating.
Keep grinding, man. I mean, it was a great football game. If you guys know anything about us right here, we love the game. Obviously, we graduated from Pleasant Grove, and we were down in Dallas watching South Lake Carroll versus Duncanville play football in a baseball stadium. So it was something crazy and it was amazing. But this kid, we even said it at the game, like this kid's ready.
He ready.
This kid can go and play anywhere right now. Was literally said at the game multiple times. This kid can go.
The passes he was making, I mean, he was dropping it like the cornerback would have the receiver covered, and he threw it where it dropped perfectly. If the receiver wasn't gonna catch it, no one was gonna catch it. I mean, it was just perfect.
Exactly. Plays where he made the receivers look really, really good. Let's just say that. And the 800-meter gold medal winner was a thing move. Crazy athlete. She stretched the track so good. She pushed the pace the entire race. She was from gun to finish. She was in first place. There was never a question if she was going to win that. Rogers, on the other hand, who placed third in that, I believe, she was in last place literally the entire race until the last 100 meters.
Had to kick that juice in,
and she kicked it in. And as one of the reporters mentioned, she believes in her kick more than any track athlete she's ever seen. And I mean, she really pushed past the entire pack and steals the bronze for Team USA. So, like I said, at the end of this thing, we're gonna give y'all an update on how many exact medals. But back to this kid. The throws he was making, like you said, were pro style throws, at least collegiate level throws.
Exactly.
Well, now it's come out that Quinn is leaving Southlake Carroll early, and he's going to enroll as an Ohio State Buckeye this fall. How do you feel about that?
I'm down for it, and I wish more players would start doing it. I've heard people say, oh, he has to be loyal to his coaches and his teammates at Southlake Carroll, but here's the thing: there's nothing else he can do at the high school level. There's nothing else he can do. He's already committed to Ohio State, so there's no upside. The only thing he could do to Southlake Carroll is win another state title, and that school got more state titles than anybody knew what to do with. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I read a statement. He said, look, I understand what everybody's saying, but I made this decision with my family, and it's best for us. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about what everybody else is saying, what I should do. This is the best decision for my family. And as the top ranked recruit in the country, I'm going to make this money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take advantage of the NIL. I'm taking advantage of my opportunity. So I wish more players would do it, because you can look at it as being selfish. Like, what about the kids that are still there? Hey, I'm not gonna see them guys in the next year anyway.
Exactly. This is the thing right here too. Like, I've given you everything I can give you, right? Like,
yep.
I've given you your state ring. I've given you all the publicity and hype I can give you. Like, at this point, and you've given me everything you can give me. I've got my offers. You know what I mean? I've got my recognition. I'm, number one QB in the country. I've got to go.
Yeah, because he's wasting. Because people are like, well, what about his schooling? He only has one class left, and he's wrapping that bad boy up.
And what do you mean? What about schooling? He's going to college. It's not like
he's going to college. Yes. What about high school? This kid has already done, and I give big credit to his parents. He's coming into his senior year, and he got one class left to graduate, and he's taking that during the summer. He's done. There's nothing else I need to do here. I'm going to go to the next step in my career is college. I'm going there early. I'm getting a head start, learning the offense. So when I roll into the spring next year, I'm ready to go.
Exactly. And even let's just take the football part out of it. Let's just take the first part out of it. The first thing he said. I have to strike while the iron's hot right now, while I have all the hype on me, because hey, let's not forget this whole NIL thing. This is
temporary.
It's a trial run. So who knows? This year, after this season or whatever, next season, it could be gone. No longer able to make money off my name, image, and likeness. Well, right now in 2021, my name, image, and likeness is able to make me some bread, and I know I'm going to make bread.
Exactly.
I know for a fact. Now, what about next year? If I go have a terrible season in high school, don't go to state, get hurt, who knows? I end up at Ohio State, and I'm not that highly, I'm not really that highly sought after. I'm damaged goods now. I get lost in the shuffle. I transfer around a couple of times. I poop out of college, and now what are my teammates in my school gonna do for me now?
Nothing. Not do anything.
You see what I'm saying? So it's not selfish. I haven't read any articles, you know what I'm saying, or comments or anything on the kid because I don't want to see that. Because it's not selfish. It's selfish if you're a parent or of another kid on that team, or a coach, or a kid on that team, or a teacher at South Lake Carroll, and you feel some type of way, and you're mad or upset or disappointed in this kid, slap yourself and wake up. For real. Slap yourself and wake up.
I think I read an article on 24/7 Sports. Trevor Knight.
Trevor Knight.
Yeah.
ESPN guy?
Yeah, well, he played quarterback at Oklahoma. He came out and said, it's a terrible decision because it's going to start making more kids across the country start to leave high school early, and it's going to kill high school sports. It's not going to kill high school sports at all.
You can't leave until you're done.
Huh?
You can't leave until you're done.
Exactly. And how many kids are actually going to be done?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Now, now I would love to see this trend of you seeing these high school athletes, football players, start taking summer school classes and getting out early. Because if you have the ability to leave early, why not?
Exactly.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think this also opens up, like if high school students were to truly do that, and we see right here from my other brother Trey, and he's a high school coach as well. I support it, and I'm a high school coach. If it's the best decision for him and his family, then do it. And he didn't win a ring. Go beat in the championship.
No,
game.
they got beat by Westlake. It was the Dodge Bowl is what they call it.
Yeah.
Because you had Riley at South Lake and you got Todd at Westlake, which I think is awesome because I grew up watching Todd Dodge. You know what I'm saying? So it was cool seeing and grew up watching Riley play. So I think it was cool to seeing son and father who grew up winning state titles play against each other for a state title. I mean, a little bit at that Thanksgiving table.
Yeah, exactly. And so he lost in the championship game, so he doesn't have a ring. So he could come back and try to get a championship for South Lake Carroll or whatever. You got somebody else waiting in the wings. It's South Lake Carroll.
Exactly. It's South Lake Carroll. They got 3, 4, 5 waiting in the wing.
Exactly. So like go make your money if that's what you're trying to go do. And then also just go to Ohio State. There's nothing left for you in high school.
No.
There's no, you know what I mean? Like there's just not. There's so much more opportunity on the other side of that door that it's ridiculous. You see what I'm saying? Like, what can South, unless somebody can give me like 10, I need like 10 or 20 reasons for him to stay.
One. Give me one.
No, I'm saying for him to stay.
Oh, to stay, yeah.
There needs to be like 20 reasons for him to stay versus any one reason that he should leave. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no upside to staying another year if you don't have to. We see it all the time. You got hurt your senior year.
Yep.
I was hurt my senior year. It happens all the time. Why are we still risking our kids?
I mean, and it goes back to and his coaches. I think they're all for it. The article I read, they were all in support of it. Is mainly people outside of the program. You know what I'm saying? Different sports commentators. Also, you got his teammates. You know what I'm saying, that they don't want to see him go because they want another shot at the state title.
Exactly. I feel that. I feel that they want another shot at the state title. I will always tell my athletes to do what's best for him and their family. My job is to build relationships and mold future men. It's way more important than winning games. Thank you, Trey, for saying that, because I said that a few weeks ago. If you are going to get into the coaching business, if you're going to get into that field and that's your career, winning games pays your bills. I understand that. Winning games pays your bills. I wholeheartedly understand that. It gets you better job opportunities. It makes you look really good in the community, and you're probably going to get more money. I understand that. So I'm not saying winning games doesn't count. It does. It holds weight. But if you are getting into the field of coaching, you are truly getting into field to help people raise their sons and daughters into successful men and women of our country, our society, whatever you want to say. That is your job. That's in your job title. So if pushing him to make this decision, or not even pushing him to make this decision, helping him make this decision, or pushing him in the right direction, that should be what you want to do, not holding the kid back. And that also goes to talk into a little conversation I had the other day with some people, not signing off on his kids transferring to another high school. If you are a coach out here right now not signing off on kids to go to another high school, slap yourself and wake up.
No, dude, we had a whole show about it. It makes no sense. Like, if a kid wants to leave, let him go. Like, you got 20 other kids waiting in the wing to take his spot. Let him go. Why do you feel like you need to control his future? What's the point?
Exactly.
And the fact that coaches that do that can go home and sleep at night, it makes me sick to my stomach.
Big facts, and it's too much power over somebody's future at that point. But you shouldn't be in the business if that's how you feel. Like, if a kid feels like he's going to be more successful at this other school, if he feels like he's going to be successful leaving your school early and going to college, let him do it. Let him do it. It is not you're not playing. You're not the final decision maker. You're not the judge.
You shouldn't be the gatekeeper. You shouldn't. You're not the gatekeeper to that kid's future.
Exactly. And we recently came across a video or audio, I guess I should say. It wasn't even a video. Audio of a coach really playing gatekeeper.
Oh man, you want to talk about a power flex? This coach was going. These are the conversations that happen behind closed doors that no one gets to hear and don't believe happens. And we just got the privilege of actually getting the audio and was like, whoa, like, we know it's been going, we know it goes on, but this guy's greasy. Not only is he greasy, he said he was greasy.
Exactly. And he said something along the lines of, I am the greasiest, or I'm the slimiest, or something like that, grimiest mother MFer that you will ever meet. You can't get to my level. I'll make sure you never go anywhere. I'll send you back to wherever. And that's how much power I have. And this is from a coach to a student athlete.
So the coach we're talking about is Mike Woodbury, and he's a former CEO and president of the board at Nation Christian Academy. Now this and that's over in Port St. Louis in Florida. So this audio actually came out like 2 years ago, but now it's like resurfacing and people are starting to talk about it. But he's having a meeting with a player who's coming to talk to him about transferring. And this coach basically tells this kid, look, I hold the key to your future. I'm in control of the transcripts, the grades. I make the connections. And if I want to, I can end you. And he quote what he said, just what Nick said. I'm one of the sleaziest, grimiest MFers you will ever meet in your life, and I will end you. I will send you back to Haiti on the first flight. This is something that, as a parent, if my son came home and told me a coach said this to him and had the audio, I don't know what I'd do, because I put my son in your hands. And this is a private school, so in a boarding school, so the kids live on campus. I send my son from Haiti to come stay with you because you told me you're gonna take care of him, and you over talking to him like this. Like, exactly. It makes coaches look bad.
It does, and like you said, we've seen this. You've seen it up close and personal. I've seen it up close and personal. Maybe not this vulgar. I don't think I've ever seen one this vulgar.
Nah.
On the lines of this. I've seen things that maybe like, dang, he probably shouldn't have said that, but it was kind of funny at the time too. You know what I mean? Like, we've all had those situations in the locker room or on sports teams. But this right here was pure disgusting. And maybe because I'm older now. You know what I mean? Maybe because I'm older now. And I think about things in a different light. But this was pure disgust. That a coach would feel that power that powerful that he could talk to someone else's kid this way, someone else's child this way, and really want to have that much power over someone's future. Like me, I don't want to have that much power over someone's future. I don't want to be the guy like, oh, if you do this, I'm gonna make sure you don't go to the next level. Like that's there's not a bone in my body that ever would feel that way.
No, because I'm all about seeing people be great. I want to see everybody be great, and especially if I coach a kid and he feels like my program is not right for him, and he says, "Hey, look, Coach Reed, you know, I love playing for you, but I feel like I got a better opportunity over here." If and I already know what kind of caliber player he is. I'm gonna say, "Hey, man, give me that paper. I'm gonna sign it. I wish you the best of luck. You ever need anything, you know my number. You know what I'm saying? Give me a call, and you know what I'm saying, holler at you." Because if he goes to the other school and balls out, you know what they're gonna say? Hey, shit, he came from you know, such and such university. That's Coach Reed over there. Coach Reed did him good.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And it happens all the time. Like, you know, sometimes players just don't fit. And especially at the high school level, you don't have a choice of where you originally start high school for the most part. You know what I mean? It's basically based off where you live. For sure, your city. Like some places are open districts, so if you live in the city, you can go there. That's where it starts. So you just lived in that area, so you have that school. You're there. Well, that team may run an offense that doesn't fit you. That team may run a defense that doesn't fit you. That team may truly just be coached in a way that you don't like to be coached, or truly may be coached in a way that you don't receive that coaching style.
Right.
It might be a super in your face, grab your face mask, tobacco spit on your visor type of coach, and you're not that type of kid. It might be a coach that is hella passive, and you might need that grab your face mask coach.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're not getting all of your potential out, and you realize that, or it's holding your potential back, and you realize that, and you have that discussion with your parents, and y'all decide, okay, well, that school across town, that's where I fit.
And you go,
that's gonna be my best chance.
And I'll never understand why coaches have that control. If the parent says, "I'm taking my kid out and we're going across town," that's what we're doing. Like, sign a paper and dip out. Technically, you shouldn't even have to sign a paper because you didn't sign a paper to play.
Talk to him, boy. You
know what I'm saying? You didn't sign anything to play. So you know what I'm saying? Like, why I gotta sign a check out?
Exactly. I didn't sign a contract to play for you, but I need you to sign for me to play somewhere else.
Yeah, nah, not happening. And then they have the nerve, if they don't let the kid leave, and then they think the kid gonna want to play for you.
Exactly. Why would I want to play for you after that? Why would I want to play for you after I know now? I know for sure you don't have my best interest at heart. Yep. At first I just thought it, but now I know for sure you don't have my best interest at heart. So how am I expected to come and ball out for you?
I don't know. I'm just glad Quinn made the decision. He dipping out. He taking full advantage of this new NIL rule, and I encourage every athlete out there. I don't care if you get a sponsorship from the Daylight Donuts. If they want to pay you a little bit extra money or give you some free donuts to do a commercial, hey brother, take advantage of it. Get your name and face out there.
Take advantage of it. And I'll say it again since we're on the topic. If you're a high school athlete right now, hell, if you're a middle school athlete right now, start building your brand.
Yep.
You are your brand. What you do on the weekends is part of your brand. What you do on weeknights is part of your brand. What you do in the classroom is part of your brand. How you treat that kid in the hallway is part of your brand.
Yep.
So my high school athletes and my middle school athletes, boys and girls, everybody, start building your brand. It's never too early, and it's for sure never too late. You know what I mean? Like, start building that thing, because if this thing sticks, if this NIL thing sticks, you guys are going to have the opportunity to do what millions, or I don't know if it's millions, but hundreds of thousands.
I bet it is millions.
Millions of student athletes have come before you have wanted to do. A lot of athletes who have been kicked out of their institution or their university for trying to do what you guys are being allowed to do. So let's take advantage of it and get this thing on rolling, so we can go to the next step and start getting a real slice.
Start getting them checks.
Exactly. with that NCAA letterhead on the top of it. That's what we want. That's what we want. That's what we're fighting for. But stepping away from the NCAA, well, I guess we haven't even got to the NCAA yet. We are on high school sports already right now. We're on high school sports, especially here in Texarkana. It's cranking up. Monday was the first day of 2 days for most of the schools in town. At least it was for Arkansas High, Liberty Islo, and Pleasant Grove. Texas High, I believe, starts on this next Monday coming up with their first practice. I think now all the other schools have gotten into the pads. It's that time, man. The boys of fall. It's here.
Hey, dude, my body is starting to. Hey, man, why we ain't playing football? I ain't played football in a minute, but my body still feel like, hey, we can go out there and do it. It's about that time. So, dude, in high school, this was one of my favorite times of the year because you get to see all your boys after the summer. You know what I'm saying? Y'all been working out. Now it's time to, all that preparation that you did during summer workouts. It's time to put it on showcase. Not only for your coaches, but for all the fans and stuff in town. So it was one of my favorite times of the year.
Yeah. Fall camp. It's here. This is it. Like, you know what I mean? Like waking up early. Well, now they do 2 days a little different now. But when we were coming through it, even especially when you were coming through it was a little changed up for me as
Be
well.
about 6 o'clock.
Exactly. You go morning, leave, eat lunch, whatever, and then you come back for that late afternoon practice.
Yeah.
Those are some of the best high school memories. And then fall camp in college, it's a little different, and we'll get to that too. But fall camp in high school, you leave that first practice, everybody can pile up at somebody's house, playing the game,
eating everything in sight, man.
Exactly.
Grocery bill high.
Exactly, and it's not like Texarkana's huge too, and that's why I think it's always funny to look back on like the fall camp stuff. Texarkana's not very big. Everybody can easily go to their own house after practice. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Especially when Pleasant Grove back then was a closed district, so you lived in Pleasant Grove.
Yep.
If you went there, you know what I mean. Everybody could have walked home. You know what I mean? Like it's not that big, but everybody still piled up. You had the old lineman probably over here at this person's house. And you had your little cliques on the team. Everybody piled up the whole clique into each person's house, ate up all their parents' food, and then you went back to practice and did it all over again, woke up the next morning and did it all over again. That was like your fun part of the summer.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I remember my boy Thomas, man, we used to go out to his house, and man, like Thomas set up, like he had his own little wing of the house, and he had his own refrigerator with hot pockets and pizzas and pizza rolls and sandwich meat, and we over there eating like kings. Eating like kings, man. Take a little quick nap, you know what I'm saying? But you can't nap because T-Phone sitting there talking and cracking jokes the whole time. Then somebody catch a cramp. You know what I'm saying? And hey, and if you're an athlete and you didn't call one of them what they call Charlie horses, you call it's the worst pain in the world. You gotta bend them toes back. But hey, everybody eat, sleep, wake up, and do it over again, man. I know Thomas' parents was like, man, these cats over eat me out of house and home.
Exactly, man. We was either piling up at 13 when I came through. We was either piling up at 13 or we was piling up at J Rob's house. And there go Miss Tina right there commenting, hey, in baseball, you already know where I'm coming before BP. You already know where I'm coming. Oh man, that's the times, man. But fall camp. And then when you get to college, man, the fall camp experience is just so crazy. So give me your favorite. Give me your favorite high school fall camp story, and then if you can remember one, and then give me your favorite college fall camp story, if it can be told.
Man, I think one of the funniest fall camp stories, man. It was with Kennard. So we all go home, whatever, right? And I guess while Kennard was at home, he catch a cramp. And I'm talking about, Kennard is known for catching cramps.
Yeah. He
catch a cramp, and at this point, he's like, kill me. He called it, kill me. I'm about to call Coach Davis and quit. I don't want this no more. Kill me. And man, like to this day, anytime I catch a cramp, I think about Kennard like he just was not about it, man. He was about to hang the cleats up, man. About to hang it up. And I think the funniest story I had in college, man, this is kind of bad, but you know what I'm saying? We just learning the plays, whatever. And so I get in, boom, we call 28 sweep. Pow. I get it, boom, get a first down, you know what I'm saying? Get a little hype. Second play, get the ball again, boom, get a hype. Third play, fumbled that bad boy. So I'm like, shit, you know, I fumbled the ball. But, you know, it's all right, whatever, fumbled the ball. So Coach Nipmont said, no, Trey, come here. So I walk over there, what's up? He get the ball, and he throw it on the ground, said, jump on it. So I hopped on it, brought it back to him. He threw it again, hop on it. Man, Coach Nipmont used to be a quarterback at University of Hawaii. Man, Coach Nipmont reared back and threw that joke about 60 yards. Go hop on it. And I had to run over there and hop on it, man. And everybody was laughing. And I was like, man, I just feel like a clown, man. But I never fumbled the ball again out there.
Yeah, that's how it's gotta be. That's how it's gotta be, man. My favorite high school camp moment, man. I don't even know if I should tell it. I don't even know if I should tell it, man. No, I'm not even gonna tell that. But I'm not even gonna tell that. My favorite probably college fall camp moment. Every year we used to stay in the hotel for camp. You know, they take you away from all outside world, all outside life.
Take your phone. They take your phone?
They didn't take our phone. No, they didn't take our phone.
We had no phone.
But we staying at the Holiday Inn Express right across the street from campus, pretty much. And bro, I wake up probably. I had to go to the training room hella early. You already know, tape, hot tub, cold tub, all that stuff before practice. So I wake up and it's like 30 minutes past, and you know, time that I'm supposed to be in the training room. Well, it's mandatory. You know, you got a mandatory breakfast and all that stuff or whatever. So I wake up, I run down to the mandatory little breakfast. All I grab is a banana, bro. And I run out, hop over to the stadium, go down to the training room. Oh, I still got this banana in my hand. I go down to the training room, and the trainer Josh is like, I mean, you know, you're late or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I just woke up or whatever. And he's like, what you doing with that banana? And I was like, it's my breakfast right here or whatever. And he was like, oh, you're gonna die today. You're gonna die trying to go out there and dress a banana on your stomach or whatever, man. And when I tell you, I died throwing up, damn near passing out. I think that's the day I got heat exhaustion, like bad heat exhaustion. Like almost ended up in the hospital, heat exhaustion. And I don't even know if that's my favorite thing that happened in camp, but that's the most fall camp moment I've ever had. And I think that was my redshirt freshman year too. So like basically my first year playing. And bro,
man, I got a lot, but they can't be told on the pod.
Exactly, man. I got a lot.
Because you know how it is, man. You with the boys and everybody doing stupid stuff. So it's like, man.
Exactly, man. Exactly. But before we move on to this college talk, because we got some college football talk we want to hit too before we get out of here. I want you to give me some predictions around town right now. For all our listeners outside of Texarkana, I'm sorry, but for a little second, we got to do some hometown talk. I got to see where my boys' heads at. So we got the Big Four, which is what I'm going to call them. Y'all hear me talk about this on the show for the rest of the season. The Big Four, you know who it is. PG, Texas High, Liberty Diallo, Arkansas High. Give me your predictions on where you think these guys are how they're gonna fare this season.
You just want regular season or the playoffs and everything?
I want it all.
All right, so I got Texas High. I got them going 10-0 regular season, winning one game in the playoff, getting put out in the second round.
Okay.
All right. Pleasant Grove, I got them going 6-4, winning 2 games in the playoffs and losing third round. So that'll be 8-5 for Pleasant Grove. LE, I got them going 7-3, and then in the season 7-4, losing in the first round of the playoffs. And then Arkansas High, I got them going 8-1. No playoff appearance.
No playoff appearance for Arkansas High. You got them going what?
1-8. My bad.
Oh, okay.
1-8.
I know Arkansas a little different over there now, but you know you wasn't gonna make the playoffs going 8-1.
Hey, we got Derek Black Caesar Hooper. Hey, let me tell you something about Derek.
Armchair All-American, baby.
Hey, armchair quarterback. He be winning the little contest in the Texarkana Gazette almost every week to the point where they say you can't play no more. He said you can't play no more. Hey, if you want a true Pleasant Grove historian, go talk to Mr. Hooper. He got you.
Exactly. Pleasant Grove or Texas High. I don't know for sure about his knowledge on Liberty Island or Arkansas High, but I'm sure he got that too. So if you want to know about that, hit him up right there, Derek Black Caesar Hooper on Facebook. And he said, you know it. You know he got it. Mess with him, you know he got it.
Yeah.
But man, I'm thinking Texas High. I think just like I'm gonna agree with you only because of history shows me that. So I'm gonna agree with you on the Texas High side right there. They're gonna do very well in the regular season. They pretty much always do. They pretty much always do, decent at least in the regular season, and then they have a pretty quick exit from the playoffs. So I will agree with you there. I'll give you more on that next week when I actually see them practice because I will be there at their first practice. So I'll give you some more on that. Now these other schools I have actually seen practice. And then I've looked at their schedules as well, so I'll give you my take on them. I'll start with Arkansas High because that's where I went first this year. Arkansas High is going to be a tough season. Not only are they young, but they're young and inexperienced. So a lot of their young guys, it's their first year on varsity as well. So your 1-8 prediction is not far off, I would think. It's football, so it's any given day when you play.
Right.
So for them, I guess any given Friday. So I think they'll sneak a few out of there. So I think they'll do a little bit better than that 1-8 mark you gave them. But they probably, hopefully they make a playoff appearance, but it's going to be tough. Secondly, we got PG. I went to them after that. They are super, 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 super young as well. We got a lot of young talent in the area this year, in Texarkana in general, but especially at PG. They're gonna be super young, and inexperienced as well. The quarterback, sophomore, first year on varsity, first time playing, in this offense. I guess he played in it as a freshman at PG last year, but first time at that varsity level, it's going to be a little different. They've got a lot of young guys coming on the defense. They got, I think, one or two seniors on that defense this year, I believe. So it's going to be.
Dang, they that young?
It's going to be a test for these guys. Yeah, they're young, man. I think 8 sophomores and a freshman. 8 sophomores and a freshman, and then that senior guy.
Dang.
So and that's just what I know. That's what I know for sure. Not sure who all is out there, but that's just what I know for sure on that defense. So PG is going to have a tough season. Plus, their schedule is tough, and the teams on their schedule are bringing a lot of guys back that I've seen. So PG, they're gonna make a playoff run. 3 teams come in from the district. They're probably going to come in at the 2 spot in the district. I'm gonna give them second in district behind Gilmer. They'll get second in district behind Gilmer, and they'll probably go 2-3 rounds in the playoffs. That's what I'm expecting. Back when Nick played with Tanner, it was a great team. Go PG. That's from Miss Tina holding it down in the comment section tonight. Appreciate you for that. So PG's gonna do all right. They'll probably go about 3 rounds deep, 2-3 rounds deep in the playoffs, and then they'll make their exit. It'll be a pretty good year. It'll be an okay year for them. Okay, I'll say okay, and that's at best, guys. I'm giving you everybody at their best. I'm not saying they could possibly PG could possibly have a very down year, but I'm saying
we'll see now. So with my prediction on PG, I had them losing LE, and that's just because it's a rivalry game. I'm trying to. I like chaos. I like throwing a little monkey wrench in the whole thing.
Exactly.
They could probably walk. They probably could walk LE.
There's a lot of things going on at Liberty Island right now that makes Liberty Island unknown, and that's what I was getting. That was my next school I was getting to.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things going on at Liberty Island right now that makes them an unknown team for me right now.
And I think that's scary.
It is scary because there's one thing that we do know. There's one thing that we do know about Liberty Island.
They're gonna have the athletes.
Exactly. They're going to be athletic. Liberty Island is going to put a team of athletes out there on that football field every single time. I don't care if they go 0-10. I don't care if they go 10-0 or whatever their record may be at the end of the season, I guarantee you there was a gang of athletes out there, no doubt. And their coaching staff is only getting better. I got some inside info over there. And I knew a couple of weeks ago they were still hiring coaches. And the coaches that they have landed here at the end of the summer are some great pieces. You know what I mean? And that's with Trey Carson being one of them.
Yeah, I saw it this morning. So
You know what I mean?
he joined the coaching staff.
Exactly. Yeah, he joined the coaching staff. So with Trey Carson being one of those guys, I mean, not saying that being in the NFL correlates to you being a coach, but I will say this: he will be able to get some things out of a lot of players that other coaches in this area will not ever be able to tap into.
Yeah.
Let's get that straight for one. And then let's say the knowledge. He's going to bring a lot more knowledge to the offensive game for sure, because he played running back in the SEC. He played running back in the Pac-12, and he's also played running back at the highest level in the NFL. You know what I mean? So he's going to be able to bring offensive knowledge to that program that no one else can bring.
Right.
And that's just fact. You know what I mean? So they've added coaches. They have the athletes there. Regardless of how many have left or whatever, the athletes are there. And with coaching and athletes, you can make something happen.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? Athletes pushed in the right direction is a crazy thing. You know what I mean? So I got a question mark on LE right now, but I think it's looking up for him. And me being a PG native, I bumped heads with LE a bunch of times in my life. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I bumped heads with LE a bunch of times in my life. So this is not some biased statement. You know, I'm not a secret leopard or nothing like that. I just know sports, and I know when I start seeing that concoction getting mixed together, what it looks like. And when I was over at LE's practice last week or this week, it was being mixed together. Let's just say that concoction is being mixed together over there, and those guys are going to come out ready to play. They've got a couple of guys that's got some D1 looks. So, like I said, the athletes are there. They've got some receivers. They got the quarterback in JJ Hampton. I mean, they're going to be able to do something. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but they're going to be able to do something.
Yeah, like when you said there's a lot of unknowns, that's one thing about LE. If you don't know what they got, and you come out there half stepping, they're gonna put up 50 on you.
Exactly. And I mean, there's a lot of things that go on in the football game that pure athleticism will get you through it. Yep. You know what I mean? And especially if you've been coached up to be in the right spot. Now, also, Coach Jones, former PG baseball and secondary coach, is now moved his way back to Texarkana, and he's at Liberty Island.
Oh, they got a Craig T on the staff.
You see what I'm saying? So, that makes and if he has anything to do with the defense, which I'm not sure what he's coaching over there. You know what I'm saying? But if he has anything to do with the defense, that just makes your defense just a little bit tougher. Right there. Yeah. Just having him on the staff, that makes your defense just a little bit more tough, a little bit more hat hungry, if you know what I mean. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're looking to bust your noggin.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so that also adds another little wrinkle into their game. And then also his sports knowledge, that brings a lot more to the Liberty Island coaching staff. And also a lot of other coaches over there that I'm not sure, I don't know their names or who they are. I'm not taking anything away from them. I just know these two guys personally. So I know that what they're bringing to the table. But like I said, Liberty Island, they're going to be a team to watch this year for sure. At worst, they're going to be a team to watch. Kyle and WT, Coach Jones' sons. We both know, we saw those kids grow up. There's some doggish athletes, and those guys make your team a little bit tougher. Like I'm saying, at least they make your team a little bit tougher. Man, I saw some highlights from them last year as well, and hey, the boys can play.
I never seen them play. I just know how tough they are, because when they was like 4 and 5, walking barefoot on blacktop, they don't. I ain't never seen them kids in those shoes, man. They tough, man.
Exactly. Tough. Now they're grown, bro. They're grown, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so Liberty Island is going to put a team out there that it's going to be a force. They're going to put a force out there on the field this year. I hope they can all put it. I hope they can put it together, and it's good football. Because when everybody in the area is good, it's just good.
It's good because, dude, I want to see. Being a PG alum, I love to see PG win, but I would love for that LE PG rivalry to just be the bee's knees.
Exactly. I want the LE PG game to feel like, the 08.
Oh
You know,
man.
08 and
Oh,
before, 09 and before, and then also, like how the PG Carthage game feels now. Come on, Pleasant Grove, let's stop trying to make Carthage our rivals. When are we gonna beat them? Probably never. So let's get off the Carthage rivalry game. I'm tired of packing out the stadium to see us get drawn by 30. Let's pack out the stadium for a good nose-to-nose crosstown rivalry, and let's
yeah.
get it cranked back up. PG versus Ed Lee. That's the true rivalry. Ed Lee, your rivalry is not Texas High. Your rival is not Arkansas High. It's Pleasant Grove.
Yep.
Let's keep it like that. Let's keep it. Let's get it pumped back up, and let's get it blazing. We need some more Charles Joneses and some more What's some more of them Ed Lee guys that just die hard Ed Lee?
Patrick Dukes, Charles Rigsby.
Rigsby, that's it. Charles
Rigsby. LaRodrick Dickerson, LaMichael James,
exactly.
Josh Wheeler, Trey Carson, Michael Wheeler.
Exactly. PG, we gotta get, we gotta
Miller Brooks.
Exactly. We gotta get back to the PG Ed Lee true rivalry. Not saying you guys gotta hate each other and fight each other in the streets, but whenever we strap it up on Friday night and it's the PG versus Ed Lee game, I think this year it's on Halloween. Let's make it a little freaky, a little tricky, a little scary. And
let's do it.
You see what I'm saying? Like let's get the rivalry back up and let's get it going. The football in town is just better when it's like that.
It is. It's better. It gives the sports writers something to talk about. It gives people when they at work at the water cooler something to talk about. I mean, it's so much better when everybody is bringing a A1 game.
Exactly. And I pray that the football. I don't want all the teams to be even in town. Like I don't want everybody to be on a mediocre level, but I want everybody to be great. Whether this team's better than that team or this team's better than that team, I just want everybody to be good. So whenever we do meet up, it's some good classic knockout, drag out
dog fight
football.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's all I can ask as a sports fan, man. I just want to see some good football. That's all I can ask.
So the way the districts are set up now, so let's say Pleasant Grove and LE get in the playoffs. Take T-High, of course, they're in their own division, so they'll make they're in. Wouldn't it be awesome if 3 of the 4 teams in town won a state title? Is it even possible, or will Texas, will LE and Pleasant Grove meet up eventually?
See, I'm not clear on that because I know they have the Division 1, Division 2 of the 3A playoffs, right?
Right.
I think Pleasant Grove is a Division 1. I want to say that. But I'm not completely sure. I think they could be both Division 2. And if that's the case, then they both can't win it, obviously.
Right.
But if they're D1 and D2, then they could possibly.
But I mean, hey, I'm telling you, bro, what kind of game would it be?
Well, they're in the same district, so they're probably both Division 2. I don't know how that works.
I think the person that wins district gets Division 1, right?
See,
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I don't think so because they would no. Well, whatever. Gilmer and PG are in the same division, regardless, because they would have to play each other in the playoffs. I did hear that.
All right.
So they would have to play each other in the playoffs. So I don't know if LE fits in, if LE is right there with them as well, or if they're I don't know how that works.
But bro, what kind of game would it be if you have Pleasant Grove, Liberty Yalo in the semifinals for the trip to the state title?
We just had that in baseball, so there you go. We just
so we saw it. We saw it in baseball.
We just saw it in baseball.
So think about it on the football scale, though.
Exactly, and look how big that game was right there.
Yep.
That game was big because Pleasant Grove is known for their baseball program, have been for years. And then Liberty Yalo, they were really good back in the day. Got a title under their belt, and they kind of fizzled out, and then they were back, so it made the game huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what it could be. It could be like that in football. If PG, now they're known for football. They're known for their program. If they can get to that game and Liberty Yalo can get to that game and now they're back, that could be something huge for the community and for just Texas football in general.
Oh, dude, it'd be amazing. I promise you, if that game was to take place, I bet you it'd be 5,000-10,000 people.
It'd be huge. You get the entire city of Texarkana.
Yep.
Regardless. And then you're definitely going to pull in
all the alumni coming home.
Yeah.
Or not home, but wherever the game is, the neutral spot.
Could that game be played in Texarkana, though?
I would play it in Texarkana. I'd get them dollars, man. I'm not sending that money to Dallas. All that money got to come to Texarkana, baby.
Exactly. Arkansas High is the biggest stadium here. I think it holds the most people here.
Yeah, but the parking bad.
Yeah, parking is bad there. But I mean, parking's bad everywhere. The two biggest stadium has the worst parking in town. You got Texas High, horrible parking. Arkansas High, horrible parking. So pick your poison. Can't play at PG. Their waist stands are too small. LE's away stands are too small. So you can't.
Are they?
Yes. LE, a normal Liberty Islo Pleasant Grove game will easily pack out Liberty Islo and PG, and there will be standing room. Like people will be standing on the fence at both of those. Easy.
Yeah. See, Trey Hart says no stadium in Texarkana could hold it because of the number of people, but it should be in Texarkana, standing room only. Yep.
Exactly. It's gonna be standing room only. I think regardless of where stadium you have it at, even if you have it at Arkansas High, it's gonna be standing room only. But for sure, if you have it at Pleasant Grove or Liberty Islo, it can't. They just can't hold it.
Yeah, people on the field.
Exactly. They just can't hold it. Which I'll be there no matter what on the field probably. So
I'll make that 14-hour drive for that.
Yeah, that would be a game right there, man. But off the high school football, hey, we want to give a shout out to every last one of the programs in Texarkana, not just the Big Four. We want to give a shout out to the Redwaters, the Hooks, Queen City, Atlanta,
DeKalb,
all you guys, New Boston. We want to give a shout out to all you guys, all the programs in the area, and the RTL. We wish y'all the best. Everybody stay healthy and just grind out this season, man, and make football in this area. East Texas is already a super hub for football. And let's just turn it up a little extra notch and make our area even better. Because now, even like when I see like the East Texas, the East Texas guys talking about football, they're talking about the Longviews and the Tylers and all that. No, it's Texarkana. You know what I mean? It's Texarkana and the surrounding areas. That's where that's a real hotbed for athletes. And let's just show that this year. Another year. We showed it a lot last year with the guys going off to school. I mean, we sent guys out of here to major Power 5 schools, and I think they're going to do great things. But this year, I want to turn it up another notch and make this football the boys of fall. Let's make it the true boys of fall here in East Texas and Texarkana area this season.
Oh, yeah.
But moving on from that, man, before we get out of here, we got to touch the college scene because it's going crazy at the moment, man. It's going stupid crazy at the moment. Teams leaving their conferences or getting ready to leave their conferences, moving into different conferences. The recruiting roundups going stupid. Fans are upset. Fans are happy. No one knows what to truly think about the situation. But it's going crazy. NCAA 21 season is going to be nuts. Texas and OU officially are going to the SEC. Not this year.
Well, 2025?
But yeah, they'll go in the next few years. Texas and OU have officially joined
the SEC. But, bro, I'm excited for it because I said on one of the past shows, I think it's going to be a big thing for both Texas and Oklahoma. But I don't know why people are upset about Texas going to the SEC. Like, what's the big deal about it? Like, why does it matter what conference thing? You got people trying to sign petitions to keep the team in the Big 12. Like, why? Like, why does it matter what conference your team plays in? Just let them play and cheer for them.
I don't know why any Texas fan, well, unless you're just scared. If you're a Texas fan or a Texas alum and you're signing a petition for you guys not to go into the SEC, you're probably either you're just scared or honest. One of the two. Because you already know how I feel about Texas going to the SEC. I think they're going to struggle for a long while in the SEC. So that's the only two reasons why I think if you're an alumni or a fan of Texas is why you would not want them to go. Now, if you're another team in the Big 12 and your pockets are what's typing for you, or your pockets are what are crying for you, because there is a lot of money leaving the Big 12.
Oh yeah, a lot of money leaving.
Texas and OU leaving the Big 12 is huge money grabs. Big 12 is about to dissolve and be no more. We have made that comment before talking about this situation and talking about this subject. That's why the Big 12 fans are crying. Big 12 fans. You know, you have SEC. You have, I don't know how you're a conference fan.
Yeah,
but we have these conference fans out here. They're just fans of a conference. They are scared that their conference is going to be no longer because the Big 12 is a Power 5 conference, correct?
Yes, right.
They've always tried to stand their ground against the SEC. That's what the Big 12 has been about. If you're a Big 12 fan, you argue with any SEC fan you come across. That's why the Big 12 is better. Now that your two biggest schools, arguably, are leaving, what happens to your conference?
It
because even if you move in other schools, you're technically not the Big 12 anymore. Because the schools you move in aren't going to be as big.
No, not at all. But I mean, even if the Big 12 was to stay the Big 12, you still got teams like Iowa State, which I still don't understand why they've been in the Big 12. They should have been in the Big 10 a long time ago, like a long time ago. But I mean, you can still, if you're just a Big 12 fan and you don't care about Texas or Oklahoma, you're just a Big 12 fan, you can still bring in teams and still have the Big 12 because there are other schools out there that could, fill those spots.
They are, but it doesn't make your conference as powerful. Because even if Texas is having a horrible year, even if they're still Texas,
they're still Texas, and they're gonna bring in all that money. That fan, they're gonna pack out that 130,000 people in the stadium. They're gonna do that every Saturday.
Exactly.
I get that, and the fans are gonna travel to your stadiums. But what I'm saying is, it's done. It's a wrap. It's happening.
Oh yeah, it's happening.
So you know what I'm saying. If you're not thinking about packing your bags and dipping out, then start looking for schools to replace them because there's schools out there.
There's schools out there. There's a chance for them to revamp the conference. They could revamp the conference and make it really, really fun. Actually,
yes.
You know what I mean? Because Baylor's not going anywhere. Baylor's shutting up because Baylor knows they're about to run shit.
Exactly. Baylor's sitting back. They back with the rubbing their hands.
They know they're about to run it for a minute. At least the first few years after these two schools are gone, they're going to run the Big 12 for a second. Their only competition, truly, TCU.
That's it.
You know what I mean? And Baylor, they got smacked in the mouth with all the Art Briles stuff. You know what I mean? But before that, and even now, they've been on the up.
Yep,
they're going up. They have been. And so right now they're not making any statements. Like you said, they're just sitting back there. Oh,
yeah, go and pack them bags.
Exactly, go and pack them bags.
I'll help you.
You hear me? Baylor's gonna be what they're gonna run it. They're gonna be the new Texas, I guess you can say. But you can bring, and then you have TCU. So if I'm the Big 12, I'm gonna bring in SMU. Go ahead and throw them back in it, and then I'm gonna bring in. I don't know who else do you bring in. I think that makes it fun if you bring in SMU. You have your rivalry game back in the Big 12.
Right.
You won't have the Red River rivalry, but you'll have the Battle of the Iron Skillet. You'll have that back in the Big 12. So there goes your rivalry game. SMU's on the up and up. So that could be really big in a few years. Then you have like the battle for Texas between Baylor, TCU, and SMU. So you have that right there. Oh, Houston. Bring in Houston. There you go.
But is Houston without Tom Herman?
They will be eventually.
I don't know. They had the Tom Herman years, and he dipped out, and they kind of flaked out.
But you got to think about it. Derek King is in Miami. Like, he was a big part of why Houston was who they were.
Right.
You know what I mean? He was a big piece of that. They'll get another QB or somebody. You know what I'm saying? They'll get another guy or a few guys that'll put them back where they were.
So yeah, bring Houston back. What about bringing Colorado back to the Big 12?
Are they gone?
Didn't they go to the Pac-12?
They don't want to bring Colorado. I ain't bringing Colorado back. You ain't bringing Colorado back. That ain't doing nothing for your conference. I mean, basketball wise, maybe, but they ain't bringing them back.
Yeah, I don't see. Colorado's one of them teams like Vanderbilt is to the SEC. I think Colorado still might be in the Big 12.
They probably still are. I haven't heard anything about them in football in a long time.
It's been a minute, but I forget that Vanderbilt is in the Big 12, and
You mean SEC?
and the SEC. I forget that they're, and then I think like schools like Clemson. I think sometimes Clemson look like an SEC team. I'm like, they're in the SEC, but they're in the ACC.
They've reached out as well. They want to make the move as well. I don't think they should make that move. I said that before as well, but I think they are reaching out. They're trying to make it. They're trying to make it's the money grab. You know, there's a bunch of money.
Yep.
You know, there's a bunch of money involved. So they're trying to reach out. They're trying to get in, and they want to catch. They want to catch that wave as well. And so does Florida State. The ACC. I don't know if they want to lose those two guys.
You can't, because who do you replace them with?
Exactly. Especially a team like Clemson that you know they're going to be in the playoff pretty much every year. They've shown that. Colorado's in the Pac-12, left when Nebraska left Big 12. Bring Nebraska back to Big 12.
Nebraska done.
But they play Big 12 football though,
which is probably why they're not successful in the Big 10.
So bring Nebraska back to the Big 12. That's not bad, and you know their fans are coming.
Yep, and they got what's his name? Scott Frost.
Yeah.
So they got their coach, which I think he's gonna turn Nebraska around. And I know a lot of their fans wanted them to have want him to turn the program around faster. But I said it when he first came. I said, look here, man, he ain't finna come and turn it, because Nebraska just right here. To me, it's right around the corner. So huge Nebraska fans around here, and it's like, look, he ain't gonna do this thing in 2 years, but give it about 3 or 4. He can start making something shake. And I think, COVID kind of screwed stuff up last year. But I think this year we're going to get a true Nebraska team. We're going to see what he put together. And if he put together a good team this year and they compete in the Big 10 or Big 12, no, Big 10. They compete in the Big 10, then watch next year, you're going to see Nebraska. They're not going to win it because Ohio State going to hold it down. Ohio State or Michigan State. But I think Nebraska will be they'd be a good addition.
I think Nebraska will be a good addition. What's the big deal, though? What's the big deal? Fill me in on this right here. Because like now with the college football playoff, it's 4 teams right now. They're looking to bump it up to 6 or 8.
8.
They're looking to bump it up to 8. Why? What's the big deal of playing in the SEC? Is it because you can lose a few more games and you still make the playoffs? Or not even just the SEC? What's the big deal in your conference? As long as you are in a Power 5 and you have you go undefeated, or you maybe lose that one game or whatever, you have a chance to get in.
Right.
So why is it outside of the TV deals, obviously, or is that the reason? But what's the big deal? What's the big reason that all these schools and all these people and fans and teams are so obsessed of what conference they're in?
Well, one, it is the college playoffs. You know what I'm saying? A lot of teams get left out of it because of what conference they're in. And the Big 12, Trey said money, money, money. Yeah, it's the money, because think about it. If Texas plays Oklahoma, if Texas plays Alabama at either stadium, that is a sold out game. It's sold out. Matter of fact, that game it will be so big. I don't think they could play it at either stadium. They have to probably play it at a neutral spot, play it at Jerry World. Just pack that bad boy out. So that's money. That's money that they'll be getting. But going back to what I was saying before, all these teams have been left out the playoffs, and you don't want to be that team. You know that if I'm 3rd or 4th place in the SEC and they do bump it up to 8 teams, I'm going to get in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that plays a big part in as well. And that's pretty much the only reason I can really think of why you would want to jump to a bigger conference.
But speaking on the playoffs, though, check this out right here. Speaking on the playoffs, as a Texas team, I not a Texas team, but as UT, University of Texas,
yeah,
I have a better chance of doing better in the Big 12. I have a better chance of making the college football playoff in the Big 12 than I do in the SEC.
Yeah, but they don't have a conference championship.
Who don't?
The Big 12 don't have a conference championship.
Only if there's an outright. Only if there's an outright. Only if there's like an outright thing. If there's not, they do. They play at the end. They play for a championship. They've had to in the past.
No, I know in the past they've had championships, but I think once A&M left, they weren't having a championship. It was just whoever had the best record won. And that's what would screw them when it came to the college playoffs, because you're done for the season and everybody else still got a conference championship and they get that extra jump over you.
Okay, I see you right there. That makes sense right there too. Then, because then at the Big 12,
because that year that they beat Georgia in the Sugar Bowl, Texas should have been in the college football playoff.
Heck no, they should not have been.
Why?
No.
Because they were fifth.
What was their record? Texas hadn't had a 1-loss or 2-loss season in a long time. So what was their record? There's no way that Texas should have been in the college football playoff in the past. If somebody has the record from that season, which I think was 2 years ago, not this last season, not this past season, was the season before.
What, 19?
Wrong. Top 2 teams playing conference championship. They did that for the playoff. I told you. They put a conference championship in for the playoff. The Big 12 has a conference championship.
Oh,
but
okay.
This is what I'm saying right here. This is what I'm saying right here. Tell me their record. Tell me their record for that season. Because I can't remember Texas being a 1-loss, 2-loss team.
No, they were 9-4 that season.
That's what I'm saying. I know there were 4 teams with a better record than that. I know it.
Hey, BZ, what was the standings in the 2019 season? Because I'm pretty sure Texas was 5 or 6 that season.
Yeah, Measy, go ahead and look that up one time, Measy. I know for sure. I don't know for sure, but I know that Texas hasn't. There's no. I don't remember them should have been in the playoffs. I don't remember that.
Oh nope, I was wrong. So you had LSU number 1, Ohio State number 2, Clemson 3, Oklahoma 4, and Georgia was 5th.
There you go.
So, but they beat number 5. I think that. So Texas was. What was Texas at?
They beat Georgia in a bowl game. They didn't hold any weight. That doesn't count. I'm not gonna say that again, man.
Why doesn't it count?
Because SEC teams ain't bringing no joy to the game unless it's the playoffs. They ain't bringing no joy to the bowl game. Never have.
All right, so no, this there's no. Whoa, yeah. So it says 2019 season. You had your top 10 teams was LSU, Clemson, Ohio State, Georgia, Oregon, Florida, Oklahoma, Alabama, Penn State, Minnesota. So how did Texas get in the Sugar Bowl if they were 25th in the country that year?
Because of who they are. Just being Texas. They got matched up against Georgia. They beat Georgia. Everybody thought Texas was going to come back the next year and beat this big flash. Yeah. Get them up out of here, coach.
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't realize they were that low on the rankings. I thought they were in the top 10.
You have the best chance to make the college football playoff in the Big 12, not the SEC. If you're Texas.
I don't know. I think it had to be a calculated move. They're not just moving. There's a reason they're moving. It's something
they're moving for the bread. It's a move for the bread. It's not necessarily a move for them to get more dubs. I'm standing on it until Texas comes into the SEC and improves themselves. I'm standing on the fact that this is all for money and they're not worried about dubs because their recruiting pool is going to get so much smaller, bro. It's going to get so much smaller. It's going to get so small we don't even going to know what to think.
I don't think so. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. But I think it'll be for the better.
I think it'll be for the better too. I don't think it'll be for the better. I think it'll be for the better for only us Arkansas fans bring weight to bowl games because we don't go off. See what I'm saying, bro? The SEC. If you are a team that plays the SEC in a bowl game outside of the playoffs, from here moving forward, and your team wins, or you're a fan of this team, and your team wins, do not get on the line bragging about your dub. Oh, we just beat whatever. Oh, the SEC ain't this, the SEC ain't that. I am in agreement with you that I don't think that the SEC is so much above everybody else, but it is a different style of football, and as a whole, all the teams are better.
Yes.
So there is a little difference in it or whatever, but if you go beat the SEC team in the bowl game outside of the playoffs from here moving forward, please do not get online and brag.
Well, also a lot of those guys. If I'm not playing for a championship, and I'm an NFL, I'm a high draft pick, I'm not playing in that damn bowl game.
Exactly, and a lot of guys don't. And so we don't get to see it. And I brought that up before, and I'm sure I'll bring it up again. We don't get to see full strength SEC teams at the end of the season. Let's just be honest. They beat up on each other all year, and that's how it goes. Well, at this time, man, if anybody wants to get on and give us a couple words, say anything you want to add, anything you want to say to the conversation, refute anything we've said tonight, the floor is open. Click that link, hop in, and if you just want to say what's up, hop on. If you want to give a shout out to your mama, hop on.
You immediately just put that the link in the comment section. So if you want to hop on, hit that link.
Hey,
go
man.
live with your boys.
Hey, totally off subject. While we're waiting for somebody to hop in, totally off subject. But I have to send you this video. So, I watched it with no sound at first because I thought it was just a video of deer in this neighborhood in Florida. I thought it was just a video of deer.
I already know what you're gonna say, but go ahead. I know what you're gonna say. Go.
The voiceover. The voiceover. Is it the voiceover? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I was talking about the Boosie, Lil Boosie.
Oh no! That was funny too.
I hate him. Look at him over there. I hate him. Hey, I wish he had an Instagram because they took it down. Because I'd have been like, "Hey, I'll come up there and take care of him for you."
Hey, Boosie, if you just so happen to come across the RTL and you hear this episode, listen, hit me up in the inbox. And I promise you, we'll come take care of all that for you.
Hey, bro, he sitting look at us when he said, I hate him. Look at him sitting up there on that hill. I hate him.
Exactly. But no, dude, this is in Florida. There's a video of these. Like, I don't know where this. I would love to run up on this bachelor group in November. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
it is sick. Like crazy racks, right? Still in velvet, whatever. They walk up like it's a voiceover. I just gotta send it to you, man. It's called No More Hunting this year. No More Hunting. That's what the voiceover is called. So I'll just give you a little pre-bleed right there. It's called No More Hunting. So they talking mess to this guy that's filming, man. That voiceover, the deer talking mess to this guy that's filming, bro.
Yeah.
This guy is and at one point, he say, me and my 4 friends, we don't like that. And the guy goes, well, there's only 3 of y'all. And he tells one of the other deer to go out in the street and do this call, and the deer walks out in the middle of the street and like sticks his nose up, and the guy doing the voiceover goes, another deer just eases out the tree line and looks so crazy, bro. Well, yeah, I gotta send you that video, man.
Oh, you guys, yeah.
Next week, we gotta pop the video up for everybody.
Hey, boy, Chris Jordan said, what do you think about the NFL season this year?
Man, NFL this year is gonna be a little tricky. There's been some moves made and stuff shaking like that. Yeah, we're gonna post that video to the Facebook page. My boy Measley said he's gonna get on that. So we're gonna post that video to the Facebook page for all y'all to go check that deer video out. But to my boy Chris, man, shout out to my guy Chris, man. I saw him out at the track working out, doing his thing a couple weeks ago, man. We need to go get some lunch, man. But The NFL is gonna be crazy. I currently right now do not have a team. So I'm going I'm gonna say Tampa Bay is probably gonna win it all this year. But I'm not sure. What do you think, Trey?
Tampa Bay gonna win it all, but I stay loyal with my boys. You know what I'm saying? So I'm wearing both. I can't lose, baby. I can't lose.
Well, I can guarantee you the Cowboys are probably not going to be there, so you might as well throw that hat
Man,
out the window.
But see, and when they do, I know you'll be rocking the hoodie, so I ain't worried about you.
No, I won't be. But as always, this time in the show, man, I gotta have my mental health checks. It's Friday, long week. So let me know where you are mentally. 1 through 10. I want to know mentally, physically, or not mentally, but personally, physically, and business wise, man. How you doing? 1 through 10.
All right, mentally, man, I'm feeling good. You know what I'm saying? It's Friday, work is over with, so time to unwind, get all the tobacco prices out of my head for the week. So I'm sitting at about a 7 mentally. Physically, man, feel pretty good. Shoulder kind of sore. Turned my bow up a little bit, so I've been trying to shoot a little like 70 pounds instead of the 65. And most people don't realize 5 pounds make a difference. When you up that bow 5 pounds, it's a little pull. So I've been shooting out a lot and shoulder a little sore, but physically feel good. I'm sitting about a 9. Business wise, I'm pretty good. I said the other night, 2 years, man. The Dreaded Archer Pro Shop gonna be opening up. So if you in the Texarkana area or wherever I put it, and you hear Dreaded Archers in town, come by the shop. I'm gonna get you hooked up with your bow, everything you need. And so business wise, man, I'm sitting at about an 8.
There we go, man. And for myself, man, personally, I'm good, man. Everything's going good right now. So I'm gonna give myself about an 7, 8 right there on the personal scale. And then physically, man, I'm feeling good right now. I'm a little sore. I'm a little sore as well. But I kind of shocked myself last weekend, like I said, man. So I'm gonna give myself a 9 on the physical scale, man. And then business wise, man, I'm gonna give myself about an 8 right there. Football season getting kicked off, so we're super busy. So yeah, give it an 8 with that green arrow going up. Obviously, the RTL still rolling. We're not canceled. So we're good, man. So I'm gonna stay right there at an 8. Before we get out of here, man, you got any last words?
No, man. It's Friday, so everybody just keep being good people and be good. That's all about it.
There we go, man. Keep being good people. And I'll also add, man, like I said before, man, everybody, let's just think for ourselves right now. Right now, we're being pushed in a lot of different directions, being pulled in a lot of different directions. Take this, don't take this, wear this, don't wear this. So just think for yourselves and do what's best for you and your family, and let everything else fall, let those chips fall where they may. But with that being said, man, Episode 6, Season 2 of the Read, Talk, and Listen, otherwise known as the RTL. I am your host, Nick Reed, along with my brother and co-host, Trey Reed, with our boy Measley in the background, and we are out.
Squad. It's been turning up with her. The girl around us and she loving her. If we don't know you, don't come close to her. If you with your girl, let me hear you say what?